You don't do anything for us.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Self Love, cue the music, Noop. Absolutely. Here we go. Take off. Self Love Vision. Specifically from the south side of Chicago. Had some pushback from the north siders and the west siders. Y'all coming. We got a north sider stepped up to the plate, coming through soon, but we'll get there. Yeah, we're going to hear some north side stories. Not today. Soon. We'll get there. We'll get there. Tomorrow we'll be in the Wild Wild. In the Hunnets. So we'll get there. We'll get there. In case you guys are wondering, welcome to Chi-Town's very own, the Self Love Show, where our motto is on earth as it is in heaven, or as above, so below. And you can find us and check us out exclusively right now on YouTube. Going to be on IG really soon, but exclusively on YouTube on the channel This Ain't That Network. And as we say, gotta practice that. Well, can't put it back in our mouth, but TATN. Y'all know where we're going with this. TATN. All right. Yeah, we're getting props, people. Big ups. Big ups to the props. All right, I'm your co-host, Nine Mills, also known as Self Love. We're down Chi-Town. We're down. Today is Tuesday, February 16, 2021. You know what? We all could be any place in this vast, just really think about that. Just think about that. I had this revelation, and somebody had a blick to my dome, and I had to jump out of a moving vehicle. We can be any place in the planet, any place in the universe. We truly can. And thankfully, we all chose to be here together. Here together. What down, Tory Wordsmith. What you vibrating, what you manifested today, Self Love?
So, love all day. Self, what you manifest?
Man, you know me, G. Pure, unfiltered, Magnanimous. Unstructured. LUV. What's going on the what's the
Down.
weather report like on the south
Well,
side
you
today?
know it's a weather report this week because man, it's basically been snowing since Saturday-ish. A little off and on, but man, yeah, I'm shoveling 4 feet of snow to clear my area. It didn't land that way everywhere, but the parkway where I stay at, right where I'm at, collects.
Yeah, the half block. Where's the where the kids at, man? Come out and make that money.
Man, I ain't seen no little people outside trying to hustle no money. I've seen a few guys walking around with shovels, but they were putting them to work already. And man, back in the day, like you said to me earlier, man, get out there and hustle that. I didn't see any of that.
Facts.
Is it a school day? Or
Facts,
something?
bro.
It's a school day though, so maybe they had something to do
Yeah,
with it.
nobody went to school.
They doing it on the computers and stuff, mainly. Wait a minute, I think they might have opened the schools back up here. I know they wasn't open today though.
Right. I feel that, like you said, they're online, but they still could have made some money before or after school. Let's not make excuses for these lazy kids out there. Hey, you kids, step up, make some money, put some bread, have some ambition. Let's get out, let's do something. Let's put those telephones down and stop staring at screens. You can help the community and make some money. All right? Let's do it. Where y'all at? You can show some spunk. And when we talk to all of the current silverbacks, they all say they showed that spunk when they were young. Where's the spunk? Where y'all at?
Y'all got to make it happen. If you want it to happen, you got to make it happen.
Man, we're not into handouts. Right, make it happen. Make it happen. Make it happen, Captain. Make it happen.
And speaking of making it happen, it happen, man. Y'all, thumbs up. Like, subscribe, share. Let's share far and wide. Let's get it out here. Far and wide. Let's get it out here. This information, our community needs it. Self Love Nation wants it. We need to grow the nation.
Y'all should be hitting that thumbs up when you cross that threshold. When you come in the door, just smack that thumbs up. I concur with that, good brother.
Yeah, that would just be
I really concur with that.
Great for us out there.
Yeah, man. But bro, today we're going to the moon. Yeah, we're gonna take this thing. Whitey's on the moon. I guess you and I would say Pinky's on the moon. But yeah, so Self Love and I, one of our questions that we ask every person that sits here is about the Apollo mission, and I can't recall one individual that flat out said, "Of course it happened. You must be out of your mind."
Yeah.
Have you?
No.
I mean, on the show. I mean, we've talked to other people.
Right, on the show. Right.
On the show.
That's where I'm trying to replay every tape. Nope, I don't remember anybody saying, yeah, of course it happened.
Right. And if there was anybody on the show or anybody who witnessed the show and said, well, no, such and such said that, they can confirm the opposite.
Get right in the chat and let us know out there.
Or drop it in the comments or call Self Love. He loves these phone calls and these afterwards phone calls after the show.
I'm not the one that gets those
Pick up the phone and call Self Love. So if any of you have, if you've ever worked for NASA, if you're, into rocket science, I mean, it's possible. We went to school with a bunch of engineers. If you have any input on this in any shape or fashion, how do you feel? So, and also, as always, Self Love and I, we want to know where you're at, where you're from. Type that in the chat. Type it in the chat. Interact.
Also, you can drop us your email too to the call-in number. Text it there. That would help us grow our email list. We got a little bit of housekeeping to take care of before we get down to the nitty-gritty and you hear about our platform. So listen closely. It's of the utmost importance.
In entering upon this course of instruction, each of you should, so far as possible, lay aside for the time being all previous theories and beliefs. By so doing, you will be saved the trouble of trying all the way through the show to put, quote, new wine into old wineskins, end quote. Luke chapter 5, verse 37. If there's anything as we proceed which you don't understand or agree with, just let it lie passively in your mind until you have enjoyed the entire show. For many statements that would at first arouse antagonism and discussion will be cleared and easily accepted a little farther on. After the show is over, if you wish to return to your old beliefs and ways of living, you are at perfect liberty to do so. But for the time being, be willing to become as a little child. For said the Master in spiritual things, quote, except ye become as little children, ye shall in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven, end quote. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. If at times there seems to be repetition, please remember, the Self Love Show is a lesson, not a lecture.
Silverback More Growth and Development Platform. Number 1, repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. And 3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town. 4, to shine a light on positive influences. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, to provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless.
Yes, sir.
9, to close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen.
Yeah, let's get her done. Let's get the gap closed. Let's get the gap closed. We got an open panel tonight. Y'all can bounce on in tonight. Man, so bro, magnanimous, man. Big ups to Lil Nick. Right?
Man, that was a magnanimous show, man. That was, man, outstanding.
Facts.
Shows with the when you got little people that are doing big things. He was our first child, little person that we've had, and he was mature.
Again, if this kid can attend magnet school, and big ups to his elders around him and stuff like that, and shine and football. And when I was talking to him about how do you do it all, and he can get out on the front lines, you kids can get out there and shovel some damn snow. And I'm seriously, and you parents can get them out there to do it to make some money and teach them some backbone. I mean, we cannot do nothing for our community, people. And if you teach your kids as little kids how to do nothing, guess what they'll do as adults, Self?
Nothing
For the community. Nothing. Yeah, and I'm sorry.
Period.
Yeah, nothing. Well, right.
Children, but
correct. That's a good point. That's a good point. And definitely. And if they do, it would be not for anyone else. It would not be for anyone else but them.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to this. But he's doing a lot, and I was saying, Self, that when I talked to some of these silverbacks that we've sat with, they all found a way to do all these different things because they were not being lazy.
Well,
now
they were figuring out what they wanted to do with their lives, and they were taught, and they moved with the action. They knew that they needed to make money, and most of them that were the main they got that hustle about them.
Correct. And that hustle can't be taught. Let me fix that there. You go ahead and keep us going. But you're right,
Yeah,
Self. Yeah, that hustle can't be taught.
yeah. It came up with numerous very successful people that at an early age they saw and they said, "Man, wait a minute, I can do that. I can make some money here. We figure this out." You know, we had a bunch of entrepreneurs that have been on the show that have really took advantage from a very early age. Yeah, they weren't even, maybe 10, 9. They were
And what they tend to say, Noop, is that repetition makes recognition. So you start out selling cookies and shoveling snow and getting money, and then you get used to doing stuff for people and getting paid for it. And
yeah,
then they start taking that money and investing that money and doing stuff other than sitting around doing absolutely nothing.
nothing.
Guess where they learn how to sit around and do absolutely nothing from? Take a stab at it. Take a
Home,
stab at
college,
where these, no. Where would kids learn how to be lazy and do absolutely nothing? Parents. And I know it's hard for you to see that. They are learning it at home, brother.
I said
They are
home. That's
lazy
why I got
before they
lost.
get to school. They are lazy before they get to college. They are watching the people around them sit around and do absolutely nothing. Can't believe you couldn't find that answer.
I said home was the second answer.
Oh, you said home. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, home. Now, but
That's what I got totally lost at.
Yeah.
After that, I was like,
Yeah. Before we go on and on, though, we're gonna get a frame for that, but this is what came.
pull it back so it can be all in the shot.
Tell me where.
All right, raise it up a little bit more. There you go.
That's for that young silverback. Can you read that, Self? Because I can't.
The Junior Silverback Award. As soon as I start reading, it goes off the screen. It goes to a small screen.
I'll read it. It says Junior Silverback Award presented to Nicholas Elijah Evans for exemplary frontline work for human rights. And it says the Self Luv Show, and it's the inaugural award. Yeah, sure you guys can see it better now that he cut his camera off. So that's going out to little Nick. Big ups. And our t-shirts are in play as well. They got those t-shirts at the t-shirt manufacturer, and we should be launching those. I thought I would have it today, but I didn't make a phone call. That's on me. I'm pretty sure tomorrow I'll be able to tell you guys where you can click and purchase those t-shirts. A third of those proceeds, they go right into the pockets of Tory Wordsmith and also 9 Mills, the Black Terminator, which is myself. The other monies, of course, goes to the company that's producing it. And so if you want to support the Self Luv Show, that would be one way of for starters, because it's going to help us market and get things out there. Now, the silverback shirts, Self Luv will have that soon. And I'm going to rock the white and red one. The silverback shirts are proprietary. Right, Self?
Absolutely.
Everybody and their mama won't be able to have those.
No. Those will only be given out by us.
For silverbacks and junior silverbacks. And those are it's a gray colored shirt with the logo. Eventually, we're going to add like a silverback on it so everybody can, know the difference. But understand, you won't be able to order that one. You can feel free to get the red, the white, all the other colors, right? Yeah, it's a big thing. But we need to have bona fide silverback, right? And of course, if you sit on this show and it's a good chance that you might be able to get your silverback shirt if you want.
That's right.
It's a good chance. Self and I we haven't
silverbacks on here, so
Yeah. We haven't
and to invite, so we got to see how it goes out there.
Right. Exactly, because time is forever, and we can have somebody who's not a silverback on the show, and we're open to it. You know what I mean? Because we want information. How did you not become a silverback? Explain yourself, right? Explain why you sit around. You know what I've been on, Self? I've been on a tirade, bro. And I've been watching Miliak. He does it at the dollar store. Bro, he'll go in the dollar store because they lazy here in LA, bro. And the line will be long, and he'll demand that somebody come and open the counter. And seriously, bro, I've been doing it at 7-Eleven, man. I'm sorry. This is part of my revolution. You know, you guys have 7-Eleven. So let me get a close up. 7-Eleven. You guys have run all of the mom and pa shops out of business. Mr. Cobles, Mr. Hughes, all the corner stores out of business. You're in this place selling pizza, coffee. I mean, you're doing so much. Lottery tickets. Nobody who works there speaks English, right? No, I'm being serious. Maybe it's not like that in Chicago, but these people, hey, God bless them. Everybody needs a job. But what's going on? 7-Eleven. You can't find any regular Americans to hire. And I know you're going to say we don't want to do the work. And I go inside 7-Eleven. Nobody understands what I'm talking about. And the lines are long and you're standing there. What's that about, 7-Eleven? I'm paying you $7-11 for convenience. 7-Eleven, you are a convenience store. And to any other black person or human being, if you're spending 20 and 30 minutes in 7-Eleven, take that. And you want to sit there, take that. And then when I say something for them to open a register and you want it to sit there, I believe that you should let me get served first. It shouldn't be let me serve the next customer who is taking it. Take that. Take. No, it should be, you know what? Let me serve that silverback back there who had the balls to open up his mouth and say something. Huh? All right, Self, I'm off my soapbox. Yeah, I'm not taking that, man. I'm not taking it, bro. Everybody's standing in 7-Eleven like it's a grocery store. While people are, you know, I know the service isn't so bad in Chicago. While people are stocking shelves and cooking hot dogs and 100 million lottery tickets, I need service. And I tell them, bro, I did not come in 7-Eleven to be in here for 25 minutes.
Right. It's a convenience store. And it's a very small space. You should be in and out of there.
Thank
no
you.
Excuse for that.
Especially with the covert. Yes, especially with the covert. And it's no excuse, you know. So I'm ranting, you know, lost the show topic. You know, I must be on the moon today. Hey, bro, but let's I did want to go in here because my man, he said, all right, Omni, you got a drill. We're gonna get that the driller. He says, the parents are giving all the kids iPads and tablets. Exactly. Yeah. But if those kids were out there shoveling snow for it,
they can get their own.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Big ups. You know, when you see a parent, and the parent used to be, you know, who's pimping who? Parents used to be gangsters, bro. Parents used to be like, yeah, he paid for that himself. Right? Because another adult would be like, you bought him them $200 shoes? No, he went out. Right. Now we're opposite. Yeah, I bought those and he laid around and did nothing. And the kid sits around smelling his own shit. You know what I mean? And grows up thinking somebody owes him something.
Yeah. It's crazy because, you know, my son.
Kid just go ahead, bro. Yeah.
My son's working. He works for his mom. And he's got a job and, you know, a bank account, buys a lot of his own stuff.
And I don't care that they're in school. Right?
Yeah, like you said, before and after. Shit.
The idle mind is a devil's workshop. You know, this must be spirit talking because I'm sure on a rant. So, all right. So Omni says he's got a jewel. We're going to get that, bro. And then, we got Cake up in the building. Pancake in the building.
Yes,
what? Pancake. That's a cold name. Hey, the other Cake might be in here too. Remember? And I told him, what guy knows two guys named Cake?
Man, I
told the noob Cake, I said, you're not the original Cake. Right. Remember that? I told him, you're not Cake. And I got reason to believe you stole this name from this Cake because they were around the same little circles. I mean, you know, so big ups. But Self, did you hear, man, Well, you might have because you were in the shot, but did you hear about the penguin invasion at the Chicago Shed Aquarium?
Nah.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, they got a penguin invasion. So, we got to take, we pulled up a recording. So big ups to the YouTubers or whatever station this is. And you guys, big ups, blah, 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 fair use and blah, 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 blah.
Fair for fair for fair for fair use. Fair for fair for fair use.
Finally tonight, the penguins of Chicago's Shed Aquarium have always been popular, but the pandemic has made them world famous. And this week, we made a field trip. This was the waddle seen around the world. When COVID closed Chicago's Shed Aquarium in March, the penguins toured the halls, lighting up our lives and the internet. They got millions of views, surprising Bridget Coughlin, Shed's president and CEO.
And I was getting emails from people I hadn't heard from in years.
And they said, we saw your penguins.
Yes, exactly. And not only did they say, I saw your penguins, but there was this sense of peace and gratitude.
Sounds like they're talking about food.
Thank you. I needed
show me your
I
penguins.
needed this mental recess.
You know how so many of us are being asked to stay in? Well, in Chicago, that means they could let the penguins out.
They became a sensation. And Wellington here, a star. Whether enjoying the fish or seeing eye to eye with a beluga, their popularity exploded just as the country shut down. Not a coincidence, says Coughlin.
The pandemic for everyone has been omnipresent. And yet, for 1 minute, when you look nature in the eye, whether it be a shark or a penguin or a rescued sea otter, the pandemic fades away.
All right, so this is Georgia.
Animal caregiver Lana Gonzalez says the walks are nothing new.
It gives them great physical exercise, mental stimulation.
The field trips went off-site to help publicize the Field Museum, where the penguins marveled at Sue the T-Rex, Soldier Field, and the Museum of Contemporary Art. So you're spreading the fame?
Yes, spreading the fame, spreading the love, definitely.
The fame is real. The Chicago Tribune named Wellington a Chicagoan of the Year, and they even landed a PSA with Illinois' governor.
The penguin got Chicago of the Year, bro.
Oh my God.
Beat out the mayor.
Part of Chicago's recovery story?
Well,
The penguins are part
They're
of
Lori Light
the
Blunt.
ambassadorship of Chicago writ large. I think all organizations right now have one common mission, which is the
got 'em
economic
outside.
recovery and the social emotional healing
That
post-pandemic.
look like digital
Would you say
buffoonery.
that these penguins have really helped keep the aquarium afloat?
The penguins have been an absolute beacon of light to showcase all the work the aquarium does.
Penguins make everything better.
Yeah, so the little black kids off Old Block, you can bring them down there and have a good time too. But big ups. Penguins do make everything better. So, big ups.
yeah. Hold on.
Let's see. Yeah, I agree. I'm the overseer. Big ups.
Shed Aquarium, huh?
Yeah. We took a light story today for you guys. We're always heavy, so there's enough heavy stuff going on right now. And trust, we'll get back at heavy. Plus, I've been, ranting and soapboxing.
So it made it perfect. Made it
That's right.
light.
That's right. Hold on a second here. Cough out there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great show. Gonna look at, examine some things,
Facts.
and
In fact, we're gonna
let you make your own decision.
in fact, what we're actually going to go over is exactly what we're doing, what he said. We're going to take a look at the start of the Apollo program, and we're also going to look at the end of it and why they're alleging that it came to a conclusion. We've got videos queued up for you cats for the original moon, from the original moon landing footage. You can take a look at that from a bird's eye view. We have an odd moon recording, meaning NASA recently released some recordings they allege is from the moon. And then status, these moon rocks, right? Shouldn't those be the most valuable things in the world? Shouldn't maybe our money be based on moon rocks? Lost tapes. We're going to cover that. So this is the most important endeavor in human history, and we'll get into it, but the tapes were taped over because NASA's budget got cut and somebody, Pookie or somebody, just went back there and recorded over him some other stuff. I mean, seriously, people, a trip to the moon got recorded over. I mean, we got the Declaration of Independence. You can't, nobody's going to say, oh, Tory came here and wiped his ass with the Declaration of Independence because somebody left it out, right? Nobody's going to say that.
No, they're not going to be able to say that.
You know what I mean? Tory 9 ran out of paper when he was writing his prose, and so he started writing on the back of the Declaration of Independence, and then that was it because they was low on budget.
It was right there. It was the only paper available.
The moon self, the original. That's you work in a studio. I mean, that's like that would be like the masters to what? Give me equivalent to those masters that you allow somebody to just record over because DNA is at a money crunch. The Beatles?
Thriller.
Yes. Thriller. No, all of them. Yeah. It would be you had the Beatles, Thriller, Elvis.
Because I was going to say that I still have my master recordings from '99.
What if you would have taken a trip to the moon? You still would have that on your phone, wouldn't you? Somewhere in the cloud.
I mean,
right?
Yeah. I mean, if we still had these phones, out there, these things out there.
But that's what they're saying. They're saying you and I made it to the moon. We had a camcorder, and then we came home and
said, who wants that?
We got low on money, and we were trying to tape the Bulls game, and Michael Jordan was in game 6. You know what I mean? And we were like, yeah, just tape over that trip to the moon, bro. The evidence of everything. I feel like I'm digressing. All right. So now, then also we're gonna cover. I forgot. We're just doing the intro. We got Buzz Aldrin. He's did he admit that the moon landing was a fake? This man, I believe, he was the second man to walk on the moon, and he's still butthurt about that, and we'll get into that. I mean, well, he might be rest his soul. I don't know his status, but he's passed away. Condolences to his family and big ups to Buzz. But he was butthurt the whole time, And then WikiLeaks, they had a NASA hack, and that was interesting. You guys, I expect you guys to hang on and hold on to that because. Why don't they put that all over the news, Self? Like when Pookie does something dumb and that's all over the news.
Well, they want to show us in the bad light. Just be 100 with it. And apparently he's still kicking. He's 91.
Who?
Buzz Aldrin.
Oh, all right. Yeah, Buzz, man. Big ups to Buzz, though.
Buzz.
Well, he was, according to him, I guess, he was supposed to have been the first man on the moon, but then your boy was a wild card. Neil Armstrong, they liked him. Something, I don't know what it was. Yeah. And then Buzz tried to, well, you guys will see it. But yeah, you guys will see it. But big up to Buzz, man. I feel bad for him because, you're the second man on the moon. That's like being Scottie Pippen almost and not tipping people. I bet you Buzz didn't. He probably went around and didn't tip. Probably said, get it from Neil Armstrong. You know what I mean? Get it from him.
It's funny because I was in the studio and we were trying to figure out who the Chiefs beat last year in the Super Bowl.
Good question.
And we couldn't think of it for quite a while. We was like, wow, they only remember the winner.
Hold on. Let me think it through because I don't remember. I almost had to think twice about who they beat. I mean, who they lost to this year, but now I figured that out. Last year. Was it the Patriots? No, it's AFC.
Right.
It would be an NFC team. Who was it?
I can't think of it again.
Get out of here. Are you serious, Tori? I mean, get out of here.
I am extremely serious.
All right. I'm not going to rack my brain. One of us is going to Google it or something.
That's what I had to do last night. or whenever that was. I got it. So,
all right. I'm the overseer. Said we need TATN for the real news. Wait till that TATN sports kickoff. They think we playing, don't they, Self?
yeah, they must.
Yeah, that TATN sports is gonna be that shit. I promise you, I'm gonna watch that. What was you saying, Self?
Absolutely. It was San Francisco.
Oh yeah, somebody actually typed it in the chat, and I'm reading it. I'm like, why'd they type San Francisco in here? Smoke G typed the 49ers, and I didn't even put it together. Big up, Smoke G.
Big up, Smoke G.
Big up. So so some of the other things, man, is well, we'll get into it. So enough of the appetizer, self-love. I guess they didn't come here to hear us rant and stuff.
Come on, quench the self-love nation's thirst.
All right, Noop. Well, what's the first one we got in the series, man? It's looks like it's the one on the original moon landing.
This is how the Apollo program began.
Yes, that's where we need to start. Yes, appreciate that. Hey, the link is in there. All y'all got to do is click it. You can pull up. Phone number's in there too.
In the shadow of the atomic bomb, science and politics became entwined. And as World War II progressed, countries began to capitalize on the power of technology. This shift in wartime strategy gave way to rapid advancements in weaponry, like the development of the world's first long-range, self-guided ballistic missile. And unlike those before it, this rocket had the potential to go to space. And its creation would ultimately lead to a man on the moon. In the final years of the war, Nazi scientists successfully tested the V-2 rocket, the world's most sophisticated missile and the first man-made object to cross the Kármán line, which is commonly represented as the start of space. When the war ended in 1945, the New World powers were dead set on acquiring the Nazis' V-2 technology.
Puppet.
This man, Wernher von Braun, was known as the brains behind the rocket. He, along with other Nazi scientists, surrendered to the Americans and were transported to the US under a top-secret project known as Operation Paperclip. The Germans were put to work, helping American scientists design and build military missiles that would ultimately be used in the beginnings of the space program.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Soviet scientists were repurposing the remains of Nazi rockets, and they were working much faster than the Americans. By the mid-1950s, the USSR developed an intercontinental ballistic missile equipped with a multi-stage design and a multi-engine propulsion system, making it capable of reaching orbit.
Today, a new moon is in the sky, a 23-inch metal sphere placed in orbit by a Russian rocket.
On October 4th, 1957, the Soviet Union used its new missile to launch the first artificial satellite into space.
You are hearing the actual signals transmitted by the Earth-circling satellite.
The satellite known as Sputnik sent a wave of paranoia over the United States. Its Cold War enemy now had a vantage point from space, increasing the fear of a nuclear attack.
Look at short.
Remember, the flash of an atomic bomb can come at any time, no matter where you may be.
The space race had officially begun. The U.S. quickly tried to match the Soviet success by launching the Vanguard satellite. But the rocket only made it about a meter off the ground before its embarrassing explosion, earning the nickname Flopnik.
Damn.
Now in full Sputnik crisis mode, the government shifted its priority to the space race. President Dwight D. Eisenhower accelerated the 1958 launch of Explorer 1, the first U.S. satellite to reach space, and established the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Within 11 days, NASA launched its first spacecraft, and within 6 months, it announced the United States' first man-in-space program. Project Mercury had 3 objectives: orbit a manned spacecraft around Earth, investigate man's ability to function in space, and recover both man and spacecraft safely. In the late 1950s, these were seemingly improbable tasks, considering this was all happening around the same time the first computer hard disk was used, the electric printer was invented, and this was considered a revolutionary toy. Needless to say, technology had a long way to go.
I just find
On top of that, NASA's first astronauts had never actually been to space. They did, however.
I find it weird that They went live, Self, to land a man on the moon, not knowing if it was going to work. I'm sure it was tape delay, you know. But they went live, bro. They didn't send a monkey up first. They didn't send it up, you know. They didn't just drop a drone just to see if the whole shit will work. I mean, they didn't just drop the little thing down there by itself, right?
Yeah.
That seems almost unhuman.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the regular order of things, especially with this NASA.
Right. With this government, with everything, right. And it was live on TV. But all right, go ahead, bro.
Meet all the other necessary qualifications for a job that hadn't been done before. Candidates were all military pilots, were highly educated and physically fit, and they were the right height and weight to squeeze into the one-man Mercury spacecraft. The 7 astronauts chosen for Project Mercury were painted as American heroes. And for a country inundated with a fear of nuclear attack, they provided much-needed hope and distraction. After a series of errors, tests, and a brave chimp named Ham, in May 1961, astronaut Alan Shepard became the second human in space.
So you sent a
The U.S.
champ
came up short.
to
Again,
do that.
less
But
than
you sent
1
a
month
champ to
earlier,
go to the
Russian
moon?
astronaut Yuri Gagarin became the first man to complete an orbital mission. But the trajectory of the space race was about to change.
I believe that this nation should commit itself.
Hey, what they said they had to do to land it.
Before
Man,
this decade is out,
no chimp doing that.
of landing a man on the moon and
But
returning
it was-
him safely to the Earth.
It was being landed by a
Under
computer.
pressure to catch up to the
Dude
Soviet
just
Union at the
manually
height
take
of the
over.
Cold War,
That's-
President John F. Kennedy
Right, the chimp
set
just
an
would have died.
ambitious deadline.
That's all. And you'd
And
learn
from that
from the
moment
test.
forward, NASA's human spaceflight efforts were guided by a single goal. NASA's second man in space program acted as a bridge to the moon. Project Gemini had 4 main objectives: test an astronaut's ability to fly in long-duration missions, understand how spacecraft could rendezvous and dock in orbit,
For that to work
perfect
so
re-entry
much,
and landing
man, and them
methods,
to
and
have gone
further
up there so
understand
much,
the
we should have
effects of
something,
longer
a
space
base,
flight on astronauts.
something.
We have ignition sequence start.
Like, as a world,
All
we
the
should've
while,
gotten together.
Project Mercury was achieving major
on.
milestones. And on February 20th, 1962, astronaut
It's
John
been
Glenn
said
became
that
the
there's
first American
something on the
to
other
orbit
side
Earth.
of the moon.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around.
Who knows?
Oh, that view is tremendous.
By 1965, the first crewed Gemini mission took flight. The missions to follow set a series of firsts, not just for the United States, but for the world.
Roger, congratulations. Excellent.
Thank you.
A new race was on for the United States, but now it was a race against time. In under 5 years, NASA needed to land a man on the moon. The Apollo program would become one of the country's biggest challenges, costing billions of dollars and risking dozens of lives. But if the decades of war and innovation leading up to this moment proved anything, it was that some of the biggest breakthroughs unfold when pressure is at its highest. And just like the challenges before it, Apollo would redefine the boundaries of possibility, taking humanity on a ride to an entirely new world. Seeker is going back in time to look at the missions that led us to the moon. Make sure to subscribe to watch all of our Apollo episodes. And if you want to learn more about
All right,
space,
you can stop
check
it,
out this
man.
playlist.
You ain't talking about nothing. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, so that just gives you guys a quick overview, right, of what was going on. But yeah, Self, we were discussing some things, man. That I just don't know why we never went back. I mean, they were going flawlessly. It wasn't like 50% of them that went to the moon died. They were going flawlessly. They had one problem allegedly, and that got fixed. You saw the movie, and they were making pulling rabbits out of their hat. The Apollo 13, And who named that 13? We don't even have a 13th floor. I mean, come on. As superstitious as these KK, triple KR, you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Yeah, but all of a sudden 13 went up and yeah, ooh, right. But I'm just saying if that happened, okay, it happened. But it just seems weird that so Self Luv is Russia and we're competing. Self Love's a point guard, and we're competing, right? We compete to be the best in the neighborhood. I'm a point guard. We play horse against each other, and everybody's trying to see who's the best and who can do the best trick shots. So I finally complete the super trick shot that everybody thought was impossible, that Self Love was working on, that he was working on, Tory Wordsmith was working on as hard as me, and I, can make a tape and make it look like I completed it, right? Or if I did, maybe I did, and Tory just gives up. The rest of the world just says, we don't want to put our flag up there.
It doesn't make sense. So, that's why my opinion is what it is, because a whole lot does not make sense. Like,
we as humans don't say, hey, come on, Japan, come up here with us. Here, think about this, Self. They didn't have one black person. You know why? You know why, don't you? Because we're not part of that cabal.
Yeah. Man, they say they can't do it now. They don't know how to do it now. That's the biggest.
Yeah, why don't you do it the exact same? Do it the exact same way you did it then, just with better computers, right? Better rocket fuel.
I mean, the computing power was less than is in this phone that I'm holding in my hand at the time. The computer that they used.
Yeah, but they were using, they said they were dedicated computers though, and I kind of got that. I see the logic in that. What they're saying is that those computers, exactly like a calculator, calculated just what you needed to calculate, even functions that was, crazy. And what they were saying is they had all those different computers that were just designed to do one thing. And that's what they were saying, that those computers were able to do. And look, I'm not, I'm just saying that was their
and I'm saying, why they can't dedicate one of these to it? There's more computing power.
Oh, no, I feel, hey, I agree.
It doesn't make sense. That's the whole.
Why can't you
premise.
just for the sake of do it the exact same? Okay. So we got new rocket science, new rockets, new technologies, new materials and new science that we use. And so Self has a 1967 Mustang, GTO or whatever they call it, and it's pristine. Self's got that, and Self's been able to drive through the snow with it. He's been able to do things that nobody else has been able to do, and it's that car. And then now here it is, 2021, and we're saying that our cars can't do it. We can't figure out how to do it, and it's like, well, why don't you just build the car that Self had, but like you're saying, add the computers, add the modern,
reduce the size of it, and
the weight and everything. Yeah, you should be going up there easy.
I would think. I mean, from the science that I've studied, and I've studied physics, chemistry, on college level, second 200 class level. You know what I mean? So I don't understand what they're saying. I don't. It doesn't make any sense.
You're saying, even as a scientist, Self, even as a curious boy, who's right? What does science say? And now supposedly there's a contingency within NASA that said, no, we never wanted to stop, but it was the politicians. The politicians are the people. Somebody apparently then ran a narrative that it's stupid to go to the moon. So if it was stupid then why isn't it stupid now? I'm asking. If it was stupid to continue to go to the moon in 1970, right? Why is it so important? Why is it not stupid now?
I don't know, man. Because there's a lot of conjecture and theories, about whether they went there, and if they went there, something told them not to come back. I don't prescribe to that, because I don't know if it ever happened anyway. You know what I mean? Excuse me.
Well, they make this argument
theory is out there.
Well, they make this argument that over 400,000 people worked for NASA. I just flat out, I don't believe it. That doesn't matter. I don't believe it. I've tried to count to 1 million, and I don't believe it. That is a lie. So they'll say, they can say anything. 1 billion people worked on it. So 500,000 people worked Self, just really think about what I'm saying. Sink your teeth. Think about 500,000 people worked on this project. Where the hell they get all the scientists from? And if they're talking about the janitors, so there's this big thing, there's this big monolith entity called NASA, 500,000 people. There's at that time there was probably 200 million people in America.
And all of that really matters not
because everything's a need to know
CEO,
basis.
Right. The CEO don't tell the janitor what the, you know what I mean?
Right.
So they could be working on exactly what they're working on, and it could be very important or completely irrelevant to the whole process. You know what I mean? And then they don't know any information. So it really doesn't matter how many people, because they box everything up on a need to know basis. And that's all you are in your box. You don't get information for anybody else's box.
Facts,
And
bro.
That's all it needs to be. All of them could be working on what they're working on, and they are seriously working on what they're working on.
But of course they are. But I still don't buy what 500,000.
I never heard that, but that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous number.
So then they use this asinine number to say 500,000 people can't keep a secret. And yes, I was going to say, yes, it's a need to know basis, but that's an asinine number in itself. Why would it take 500,000 people to get somebody to the moon?
Well, they must have meant every single employee everywhere, because I found that,
private contractors, they got to be talking about everybody.
They took off and landed from different places at different times too, because it's a thing in Houston, and then there's one in Florida, Cape Canaveral in Florida, and man, what's the name of Houston? I went to that one. Can't think of it right now. I'll do the research.
Yeah. So, did you let's get Brother Pullen's camera going.
Yeah. Okay.
See what he's got to say. All right, Jimi Hendrix, what you on, man? You just on the panel? I mean, you can't come up here and start nodding off and going to sleep and shit. We're running the show here, bro. You're gonna be an active live part of the panel, or we're gonna cut your camera off and you can just sit in the back and stare. I mean, that's you know what I'm saying. That's how we doing this, because otherwise it gets weird, man. I'm telling you, I watch these panels all the time. You can't. I'm always sitting there like, why is this guy on the panel and he's not saying nothing? When I'm watching other people's shows, I'd be like, why is this guy on the panel and he's not saying nothing? And they literally just sit there, and I watch people and they have people on their panel just sitting there, and I'd be like, well, why is this guy sitting there? And so answer that question for me, Brother Pullen. Why do you guys sit on the panel and not say anything?
Well, I was working on trying to figure things out. I ain't cut my my play off YouTube, and I just realized that right now. I'm figuring out in my head. I'm trying to think what's going on, what's wrong. While I get connected. I realized
I love your Crown King, and yeah, I'm feeling you, bro. And thanks for pulling up. Self, I give people a hard time, and I wonder why they don't be pulling up, huh?
Right.
Self, I came ready today. I got a game for you.
Yes, sir. So you want to drop it now, or hey, you want to drop it?
I got my love right here. I can't get away.
Hey, you shouldn't try, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what life is all about, bro.
Actually,
Well, let's do this, man. We're gonna keep them on ice. Just give us the title of the joint, and I got another joint of yours. Remind me to play it, but give us the title of the joint. Then we're gonna play a video, and then we'll come back and play your joint. So, what's the title?
No doubt. It's the game is called Jewel or Gem. So I'm gonna let you pick between two jewels, or if you decline, you pick the gem. So the two titles of the jewels I got picked out for you. First one is Bullets are Boomerangs. Jewel 1, Jewel 2, Free Chief. So you can pick one of those two jewels.
We're gonna do Free Chief. We're gonna do Free Chief now. But so let's go ahead and let me see what's next on this agenda here. Apollo landing footage. Did we do that yet? No. I think I'm ahead of myself. So
Original recorded footage of the moon landing found. That's what
I'm gonna get my background tightened up. When I get it together.
It's all good, bro. You panel hopping right now, so you good, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's good. You know what I mean? Do you?
You know, trying to get it together. So, you know, I'm right.
Hey,
Come on. My
hey,
life good.
Hey, do you, man? My people love you, man. The Self Love Nation, they like you, bro. You know, you just come in, you just be yourself, and that is what it is.
Thank
you know what I'm saying?
But
But we running the show here. We need active participants. We don't want nobody on the show nodding off and just. It's okay to drink and smoke and do what you do, but there ain't nobody gonna be on my show doing nothing like this. It was the same thing at the crib. You be at my crib chilling, right? Not you, bro, but people chilling, hanging out. You know, if you just. Man, go home. You know, I'm pushing them. You know what I mean? Go home then. And you wake them up and then, yeah, no. We need input. You know, we need input. That's how we grow. That's how we develop.
I was thinking about the topic, what y'all are speaking on, you know, respect to the company and what they're doing with going to the space. I don't believe it. You know.
So you were one. You don't believe you don't believe we ever landed on the moon, correct?
No, I don't. Probably
What's your main reason for not believing that?
They're liars.
Go ahead with it.
So too many lies.
Man.
Truth is.
Man. And you know what gets me too? You know what I say, Brother Pullen? I say this too, man. The fact that, yes, they are liars. And I was trying to say this to Tory Wordsmith. And the fact that there were no other races.
Mm-hmm.
That tells me right there that was some cabal, right? Yeah. And we look at it like, oh, it was just no black doctors then. Oh, they were black doctors. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just like the ladies who did the science for the math, you know, to figure out the orbit or whatever, you know, right? Those are black women. Mm-hmm. But as far as inside the inner circle and at Houston and all of that, everybody was white. I mean, they didn't even pull in the best scientist from China. You know, one of our allies. You know, nah, everybody was as lily white as you can be. Look at all the footage.
Hey, I'm ready to see it. Getting here on the Self Love Show.
Yeah, let's go ahead and let's get right. Good plug. And let's go ahead and get the video going. And so we'll be on the side yapping it up, Jimi Hendrix. You know?
I'm pull out and get things together on my end. When you're ready for me to come back, and I'm gonna get in.
Okay, that's cool, bro. Or you could just stop your video, you know, or you can log off. It's up to you.
Have a liftoff.
Yeah, I'll stop it. I muted you
50
too.
years ago today, the dream of a man on the moon came true.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
That moment still resonates. 650 million people worldwide watched those first grainy images.
My parents were so excited, they were almost crying.
Beautiful.
It's amazing to me that only 650 million people watch this. Like, I'm gonna figure out the other guys. They're like, man, this is some BS. Like, who are the other people? I gotta work. I mean, like, I'm not watching that. I don't watch TV. Like, who are the other? That's satanic. Like, bro, in the world, that seems like, you know what? I would think if they had a moon landing today that was aired live, I would think 80% of the world would watch it. A moonwalk?
I don't know. There's a lot of people that don't care one iota.
True. Or they might not be plugged in and never have been plugged in, but that's a small number.
Back then, did they have a TV? You had to wonder, because a lot of people didn't have TVs.
That's true. But when they show the footage, people were lined up watching at other people's homes and stuff like that. But that is true. TVs weren't all over the world like they are now. All of the underdeveloped nations and stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, all right. I'll give them that. But look at this. Looks like Lost in Space. I mean, you can't tell me that doesn't look like a sham. Go ahead and play.
It looks faker than Lost in Space.
Yeah, it looks staged. Look at all that aluminum foil.
It's amazing. They went up, landed, turned around, came back.
50 years ago, my dad took the three of us kids all out and bought us a newspaper. This one's mine, and I still look at it from time to time and dream. Gary George was a dreamer too, who went from building backyard rockets with friends to an internship with NASA's engineer team. For $218, he bought a bunch of surplus government videotapes. and made a discovery of his own, original recordings from the moon.
$200.
I got to these 3 reels of tape that were labeled Apollo 11 EVA, and Dad, being the space buff that he was, he looked at that and he just said, I don't think I'd give those away. I think I'd hang on to those. Those might be valuable someday.
That someday is today. The tapes are being auctioned at Sotheby's, billed as the only surviving first-generation recording of the moonwalk. This is the footage on those tapes. Sotheby's says it's cleaner than what has been seen before because it was recorded on the feed straight from the moon. All other recordings are of a lesser quality. Feed straight from the moon. All other recordings are of a lesser quality, fed out by NASA at the time.
Is the only moment that I can think of.
I ain't gonna think I went back far
because it was recorded on the feed straight from the moon. All other recordings are of a lesser quality. It's cleaner than what has been.
A little bit more.
This is the footage on those tapes. Sotheby's says it's cleaner than what has been seen before because it was recorded on the feed straight from the moon.
From him doing
All other recordings are of a lesser quality, fed out by NASA at the time.
The moonwalk is the only moment that I can think of in human history where the whole world was united for a good reason.
Here at Chicago's Museum of Science and Industry, they take visitors back to the excitement of the Apollo missions.
It was just a very inspirational and historic moment.
People have been coming together to relive that giant leap ever since. And now it will remain preserved on video.
I'm just kind of glad that I could have, a role in saving them.
Kevin Tibbles, NBC News,
Chicago.
Hey, NBC News fans,
$1 billion.
checking out our
auction.
YouTube channel.
What do you mean? I'm prepared to burn it up. You know what I mean? I own it. It's my
Why
property.
not? Who cares?
You guys didn't care about it. Like you said, why not? Who cares? Right. Yep. What's it worth to you? Yeah. So let me check the chat real quick, bro. We still where we at. Hey, you guys, we got a link is in the chat, and make sure you hit that thumbs up. But the link is in the chat. You can pull up like Jimi Hendrix has, and we can talk about it.
All righty.
Yeah.
Any questions? Put them right in the chat or pull up. If you pull up.
Yeah, pull up. Y'all outside. Everybody outside. Ain't nobody pulling up, right? Hey, So now, where we at now? Are we finally where we at now, Self? Apollo 2 landing footage? Is that where we at?
Apollo 11.
11. Yes. 11. I'm looking at it like it's a Roman numeral.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Let's roll it.
Okay, let's go there, Capcom on the hot fire. Okay, all flight controllers going around the horn, gonna go for undocking. Okay, retro, go. Fido, go. Guide, go. Control, go. Telcom, go. Jinsei, go. Ecom, go. Surgeon, go. Capcom, we're go for undocking.
Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins arrived
at
bunch
the moon
of junk on Saturday, July 19th.
It is,
we
man.
Did get close, and we rolled out and saw it for the first time. It was a revelation. It was gigantic. It filled our entire window.
Like he didn't expect the moon to be.
The next day, Sunday, July 20th, was landed.
Do you know what I'm saying?
A lot of anticipation. We finally come to the day, the moment that this is about to commence.
Landing on the moon was absolutely the most difficult piece.
And they'd be talking in general platitudes, Tori, just like
Think
that.
about it
Right.
as a controlled fall
This is why
out
they
of
would
New
say
York.
they couldn't send
The
the monkey.
problem is, in
Exactly.
this
Hit
controlled
pause right
fall out
quick,
of
so.
orbit,
Because this is
you
stupid.
only have enough.
Yeah, do you hear that? You're actually talking to somebody who's been to the moon, and do you be hearing the questions that the reporters are asking them and letting them get away with? Like, they don't be asking for no details. They don't be asking nothing different that hasn't been heard yet. Like nothing, bro. Nothing. They let this guy say, and when we got up to the moon, it was so big, it took up the whole window. Like he was a handicap, a special needs 7-year-old. Like, you thought it was as small as it was in the sky?
I mean, I don't know what he could have thought if he was going to land on it.
Man.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If he was going to land on it,
man,
you thought it wasn't going to take up the window,
man, bro, man. So yeah, we're gonna finish this up, and we're gonna let Jimi Hendrix do his thing because he looks like he's been working all night and he's ready to go to sleep, bro. If you falling asleep on the show, my people watching the show are gonna get bored too. If we're not having this on the show, man. So go ahead, so hit play. We're not having that. You know,
enough fuel for one try.
Capcom, we're go
get
for
you some
landing.
water. Those
4200. You're go for landing. Over.
The trajectory had been wrong. They were targeted into this inhospitable place.
You're gonna keep
then they had to fly
and they.
over this area at a high forward velocity, then pitch up to slow down so that kill their forward velocity, and then start down like a helicopter. So now we're critical fuel state. And that's why the 60-second call was given, and then the 30-second call.
Lily White.
Got nervous because 25 seconds of fuel left, and then 20 seconds of fuel. Oh, jeez.
And God is making
Okay, engine stop.
So they can keep
ATA at a descent. Host control both auto. Descent engine command override off. Engine arm off. 413 is in.
We copy you down, Eagle.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
The landing to me was a great celebration. The nation was almost euphoric.
If the nation, yeah, but if I'm in that myself, I'm not celebrating until they get back on that ship.
Tremendous goals if they work together as a team.
They get back.
Well, that's a whole nother thing. But yes, the difficulty was what they're trying to say happened after this. That was difficult. But then they launched from that, man, and then rendezvoused. That's why they can't do it. That's why they can't do it. I'm telling you, man. We're just getting those capacities.
Man, because something ain't right.
Something ain't right, Self Love. Something ain't right. That accuracy of what they're trying to say. But they did say the black women did all the math. Figured it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Seemed like the computer could have.
I ain't gonna talk about it. Yeah. I think
talking about now, anyway. Now.
Oh
anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not saying necessarily then because they probably had to input it. Computers were so
And back to your need to know theory. Yes, if they're making me believe at the top that everything is happening as they say it is, I would have no reason to believe anything differently.
Yes. Period.
Right. Even those people stand at their screens up in their self, Houston, we got it. Houston, yeah, ignition, Houston. They think they don't know those guys are probably over at Area 51 inside of a studio.
They wouldn't know.
Because that's why they get that relief, that true moment of and the cheering and stuff, because all of that stuff scripted, but they're not part of it necessarily. Right. They're doing science, they're getting paid. Theoretically, right? All of this stuff. And that's the thing about science. Theoretically, it should work, right? When it comes to math. But theory is different from execution.
Absolutely.
Man, you know how many things that computers come up with, Self? Or they'll print it out on one of those 3D printers or put in a simulation. And, I don't know if we can. I think because humans can pull stuff from nothing into something. I don't know if these non-spiritual beings, entities, have that ability to take something from the nothing and put it into the something.
I hear you. It's interesting.
It's a thought that we never had to think of before. All right, what we got up there? Where's Brother? Brother Portland? Let's get you front and center. I want to hear Free the Chief. And which chief are we talking about? Are you talking Chief Lion Awak? Are you talking which chief? Any chief?
Free all the guys.
Free all the guys, bro. Free all the guys. All right, bro. So we're gonna this is Jimi Hendrix, and he's also one of the biggest supporters of the Self Love Show, and that don't go unnoticed, brother. You know what I'm saying? And just know, Jimi Hendrix, we got a t-shirt with your name on it. But struggle is real, but we got a t-shirt with your name on it, and it's coming, bro.
It is, glad to get through the struggle. You know, while I got the time, glad to be on the Self Love Show. Say what I gotta say. This is Free Chief. Means a whole lot to me. So hopefully y'all respect what I have to say. Free Chief. Capitalism, they all about money. Who made prisons private? What's going on? They all gonna laugh. It's not funny. Laugh at who? You know who they doing wrong. Free all of the guys that have served their time to the system. Justice for all people. We all make mistakes. The law makes the crime. Who makes the law? Let's vote. Make it equal. They all about money. If you do not know what's going on, why prisons are private. Capitalism. Money needs to flow. Black Friday sale. If you want it, buy it. Don't be fooled by the sale, nor all the lies. Money, free the chief, free all of the guys. Free Chief. Free Chief Malik.
Man, free all of them. Free all of them.
Yeah,
that was tight, bro. I appreciate you sharing that with the Self Love Nation. Powerful words, bro. Powerful words. You know what I'm saying? So, you got anything else for us?
Hey, you know, I got jewels coming out the jewels. You know, this is what I do. You know, if you
All
want,
right.
you know, you want to talk, we can talk. You know, I love to be here.
Yeah, because hey, Jimi Hendrix, this is the jeweler right here. Where y'all think I'm getting my y'all see that? yeah. TATN.
Bling bling.
Give me a close up here, Jim. Give me a close up.
I see you. Yeah, you know, I always wanted me one. You know, I just want the one right here where my tooth is missing. You know what I'm saying? You know, because my cousins had it. I see you, bling bling.
Yeah. Cooning. Yeah. Cooning. We are cooning. We are cooning. Cooning. Hey, all right, Jimi Hendrix, we got to log you off, man. We got the kid, and man, this is not seriously, it's 18-year-old and older. You got the kid right here staring in the screen, and YouTube has policies, and all right, we love you, bro.
Yeah, I love the chat, yo.
All right, yo, no, yeah. I mean, I feel bad, and we love the kid. We love the kid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we can't. You know what I mean? Self, I can't. Right? With the kid just staring at me.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I was sitting there. He was spitting the words, and all I could see was her in the background playing.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Focus.
Oh, I know you. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I mean, he's an artist and writer, and hey, listen, I'm not a parent. God bless everybody. If I can't get silence for 2 minutes to, kick off a poem and allow, I see it all everywhere. Hey, that's why the kids are up in heaven. They're like, this guy. Yeah, I would have held all of them accountable. Self Love would have came through the crib, right? You got your kids still tied up in the basement? They're still tied up in the basement. I don't have any kids, CPS, whoever y'all are, so they want to do something, but they can't. You know what I mean?
Nothing to do anyway.
Yeah. Looking around.
You had them, you wouldn't tie them up. So
yeah.
You might want to at times, but nah, you wouldn't.
They'll come around and investigate, but I don't have a kid, take the cats away. You know what I mean? They got to do something, Yeah, but that Jimi Hendrix, bigs up, man. He comes with the jewels, he drops them, and his support is bomb.
Much appreciated. Yes.
21 said great movie on this subject called Capricorn 1, starting the juice.
Mm.
Yeah, that's it. That makes it even more intriguing. O.J. Simpson. Yeah.
Okay. We need
Big
to
ups,
check that
Milliac.
one.
You're right. Gotta check that one out. Big ups, Milliac. Hey, so what we got, man? What we got coming up? Because I'm all over the place here.
It's already out there. Many still convinced moon landing was a hoax, is where we at.
Yeah, here we go, everybody. Many are still convinced moon landing is a hoax, and we need you guys. Come on, click that link, call in, type your questions, input. Come on, we know the spooks are watching. We know the agents are there and the feds, and you guys don't have to be afraid your whole life. Come on, we lived our life. What are you afraid? What are you scared of? Huh? What are you scared of? You should have come to terms with all of this by now. Go ahead, Self.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
50 years after the Apollo 11 mission, moon landing hoaxes and conspiracy theories still live on. While scientists and researchers continue to explain and defend the lunar landing's authenticity, some people are still convinced it never happened.
15 seconds, guidance internal, 13, 12.
I've heard of the one where we did not actually go to the moon, where it was all filmed and it didn't happen.
I have heard that it was filmed in a warehouse in California.
The one I heard was Stanley Kubrick. When he was shooting 2001, I guess, he filmed the moon landing.
Most commonly, when suggesting the moon landing was filmed on a movie set, people point to the moment Buzz Aldrin steps off the lander into a dark shadow, but stays fully lit. If the sun is the only light source, how is this possible?
Look how
so the sun is shining on everything all around,
and the
lunar
off
soil
of the moon. It probably is
very, very reflective. I mean, if you go outside and look at the moon, you see how much sunlight is being reflected off of that. That light gets scattered all over the place.
Rocks that they brought back don't look that reflective.
In the shadow a little bit.
We have liftoff.
Do it yourself.
Scott Young oversees the science gallery
Watch when you see
at
the
the
rocks
Manitoba
later.
Museum.
Don't look nothing
He has
like
heard
that.
and explained away moon myths for
I
decades.
know.
So I hit him with a few more hoax theories from the street.
So I heard that they filmed the whole thing, and you can tell because the flag sort of flutters in the wind.
A lot of them look like they came out of the water.
The flag, if it was just in a vacuum, would just fall down flat and just lie there. That's not a very good picture op. So they had a stick along the top of the flag to hold it up.
See, he says
the only
it's a
time
stick.
it moves is when they're trying to screw it into the base.
Because of the moon being millions of years old, the dust on the moon should have been 6 to 10 feet deep, right? But when they landed, how deep was it? Just like that. So there's no way that the moon could have been that old. Therefore, they were probably not on the moon.
Well, before we went to the moon, we weren't sure how much dust would be there for sure. Most dust on the Earth comes from people. There's no people on the moon, so the dust is only what's left from impacts, and that's just a sort of a thin layer across the surface.
Scott and I talked more moon myths off camera. He told me I could pass along to all of you watching that if anyone isn't satisfied and wants to talk more about if we did or didn't land on the moon, come to the Manitoba Museum and Scott will explain it all. In Winnipeg, Mark Neufeld, City News.
Yeah, man, it was some scientists that just say that spacesuit, because the spacesuit was the $1 million thing. Mm-hmm. That was the $1 million thing. That was the technology. And they're saying, well, where's that technology like now? It should be so much better, right? It should be in everyday life to a certain extent.
Think.
Yeah, right?
I mean, I would think.
Yeah. One would think it would have evolved.
I don't know how it couldn't have. They've had a lot of this technology for a very long time, and they piecemealing it out, so I don't understand.
Yeah, it's hard, man, because I think you were saying that, when we think 3 steps ahead, that these cats are probably about 6 to 12 generations ahead with how they're operating.
Yes. Have plans in motion, and they are still in motion.
And those that are going to the Bilderberger conference or whatever, and that, they're just like those people at NASA. It's a need-to-know basis. They only know what's going on right now in this moment, right, in their lifetime, but they have no idea what the grand scheme is.
Right.
No.
They don't even have the whole idea of what's going on here and now.
No.
They just know what they know.
And what they need to do to keep everything afloat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, nothing. Oh, wait a minute. Money B. I didn't see Money B out there. Yo to Money B if you out there. Oh, yeah, I don't see him, but he could be out there. Yeah, he could be, what they call that, lurking. So, yeah, so what we got next, good brother?
Next we have
Lost in
Astronauts Space.
Oh yeah. You guys. Yeah, I like Lost in Space. Self, did you watch that?
I did somewhat.
Bro, I got into it at some point. I think I was older than I should have been.
Wasn't nothing really else on, and
yes,
and
limited channels back in the day, right? Yeah, and you got sucked into it and watched a few episodes.
Man, no, I think my great grandparents, one of them would watch it because it would be the only thing that you could get the channel on in Mississippi. I think that's why I started watching it.
Oh, you can get the signal. And did you ever say to yourself, so why do they keep putting up with Dr. Smith?
Yeah, we got rid of him out there.
How long you think he'd have lasted if he was I'm going to say person of color? I'm going to actually say that.
On the show?
Well, in real life, if he was a person of color carrying on like that in real life. Got them lost in
that time when that show was out.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Got them lost in space and all that.
It'd put him in the airlock out there.
Bro, he used to be making deals with the cops.
Yeah, let him out into space. They would have let him out into space.
Yes. Made him walk the plank. Remember, Self, how many deals did he cut with the ops? So you'll give me this and you'll get me back to Earth, and all I got to do is turn my family and friends over to you. And he would do it every time. And they'd talk to him, and you know what I mean? And they'd save him and forgive him. You can forgive him and still what? Let him walk that plank?
Yeah, let him live out there with one of those planets. Just drop him off out there.
Yeah. You can stay with these aliens, because they used to turn on him. And then remember, they used to come save him all the time. No, yeah, Dr. Smith. They felt bad for. I think Dr. Smith might have been mentally handicapped.
Yeah, being on a ship.
Because he was hanging out with them little kids.
And lost in space might have you a little
crazy.
handicap. Yeah, out there.
All right, man. Well, I digress. Didn't mean to talk this long about this. Is supposed to be relief. Speaking of relief, you go ahead and run that, and I'm gonna go see the sage person.
Alrighty.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, it is running.
Reactor core is at near explosive levels. A crash landing is imminent near Trona, California. Robot.
Keep an eye on that gauge. If it passes into the red zone on the approach, call out.
Reactor core temperature is still increasing.
Bring the coolant system up 5 points.
Reactor core temperature is now stabilizing.
All right.
Anti-gravity drive will be operational in 17 seconds.
We might make it.
Crash landing is estimated in 11 seconds.
Just before we hit, I'll fire the apparatus.
It's going to be a rough one. We have recovered from a near crash landing and are now back on our original course.
So far, so good. Give me an ETA reading.
We will touch down at 1924 hours.
All right. Proceed according to rendezvous plan A. Secure for a landing.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, Will Robinson.
Danger.
Yeah, don't listen to that dumb robot.
You are cleared to land on Logan runway 4 right.
Dr. Smith was racist against the robots.
Grade A prick.
Hey, but you hear that music sound? That you need to sample that. I need to stop telling you this shit on live. That shit cover.
Yeah, you gotta stop saying it on live.
Yeah, you're right. You hear that? That shit cold. They wouldn't even know where it came from, boy.
Anti-gravity field generators are at
I probably got that sound though.
You got it. Definitely an intro.
I can try.
But this is like the pilot episode here, so I saw it one.
This is like what they talking about they had to do to land on the moon.
Yes, exactly. Yep. That's how they had to turn up. Yep. You're right, sir.
Jupiter 2, be advised, runway 4 right is only 10,000 feet north. Boston Harbor's wicked close to the markers.
Yeah, they used to keep you on the thing. Had you waiting to watch next week. You know what I mean? See, everything was going to get resolved. Remember the new alien used to come up, the new ops. You're like, oh boy, Dr. Smith did it again.
You already know he gonna turn. He gonna try to find a alien woman.
Yeah, Dr. Smith used to be. Oh, and the other one, the brunette. Yeah, he used to be after them alien women. Always something. They hypnotized me and they sprayed me with something. Yeah. Sleeping with the aliens. But yeah, bro, what we got next though? That was just an interlude.
Yeah, the astronauts falling.
Yes, this is pretty comical. And this is just footage so you guys can just see if. Now this kind of makes me believe they were on the moon when I look at this footage.
Well, I mean,
but look at that. Doesn't that look like lost? Look at that footage. But they're gonna say it's the cameras of the time. That's awful.
Jack Schmidt having a few problems.
And they had the real cameras was better. The real video is better. They scrub these videos. They make them look that bad. Because we saw when they step on these anyway. They scrub these videos. There be stuff in the video that is not don't get out. Yes. Just like that flag would not have been waving like that.
Yeah, they thought they had deleted the tape. Yeah.
Definitely when they got scrubbed like that.
Like you see the little random rocks.
I'll give you a demonstration here, Joe. Roger, right on. Here, Joe. Spectacular demonstration.
See, it looked like he was floating there, but it looked like he could have been tethered to something.
Demonstration up, by the way. It started out to be of gravity, and it wound up being of centrifugal force, I think.
It could be slow motion. I mean, look at that background, Tori. It looks so fake.
It does. But the way they got that, I don't know why I stopped there.
No, it was over, man. Everything's over.
I thought so.
Yeah. I mean, I was on the fence until I heard Buzz Aldrin, which we'll get to. Man, Buzz Aldrin, boy, he broke it down. And he's just senile. He didn't know what he's talking about. And then he started talking complete gibberish after he had his Freudian slip, trying to clean it up. And he was trying to clean it up to a little 6-year-old girl. You should see how she was looking at him, because kids know BS when they're hearing it. Mm-hmm. They don't know right away, right? So, but once, wait a minute, this guy's speaking nonsense. They know who's speaking nonsense to him. That's what they know.
Definitely.
Yeah. They know who's speaking nonsense to him. So, yeah, we could go ahead and we got, hold on, I'm the overseer. Said, yo, the brother Terrence Kaysen. Oh, Dennis Stallings. Yo, brother Stallings, I see you out there, Noop. Thanks for your support. And he said, yeah, Dr. Kaysen be lurking. Yeah, he be straight up in the weeds, boy. Big ups to the Genius Club out there. Cap ship, oh, so savage. Deserve. Yeah, that's what I say. Oh, so savage. It's Salik. He's gonna appreciate that. All right. All right. So what's the next video? We did Lost in Space. So this is
NASA release old sound recording.
There we go.
1969 on the dark side of the moon.
The dark side.
The dark side of
The
the
dark
moon.
side never faces the earth.
The dark side of the moon, which is some craziness in of itself.
I can't even conceptualize it.
Yeah, it was
I can,
explained-
but
it was
I
explained
no,
to me, but it.
I
you
can't
know,
conceptualize the odds of that happening. That's what I'm saying. That's what I
yeah.
can't conceptualize.
Well, everything is.
No other moon that we've observed is doing that.
Because has been theorized that it's a artificial satellite, and it was
put there.
Put there.
So they said that our moon is in a Goldilocks zone in a distance between the Earth and the sun. That ring of fire.
Yeah.
They said that doesn't happen anywhere in the universe where it comes so perfect. But they said the size of our moon and the exact distance it is from the Earth makes that happen. And so we take those eclipses stuff for granted.
Yeah.
And that's why our ancestors were like, whoa.
Right.
And that's maybe why these aliens and stuff are coming here. And I do believe they got technology where we can't see them. And every now and then that technology needs energy or fades on them. And then you're like, and they don't even know right away, oh, this guy can see me. Right? Because I'll tell you, it's conscious. And they be right up on you. So, and then it's like when they realize, oh, right, my stuff's not working, they be gone. Yeah. Because they can get shot down like everybody else, I think, if their stuff's not working.
They've been shot down, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're different type of weapons that to shoot them down too that the military has.
Yeah, they were saying like energy type weapons and radar type weapons to jam everything up. Yeah. All right,
EMP
pulses. Yeah. All right, so you can go ahead and run the next one if you got something in there.
Noises reportedly were heard in May 1969
Keep it
by
running.
the Apollo 10 astronauts as they circled the moon. Month before the first astronauts stepped foot on the lunar surface on July the 21st
They gotta hear this.
that same year. The three astronauts on board were Thomas Stafford, John Young, and Eugene Cernan. The sounds, which lasted about an hour, were recorded and transmitted to Mission Control in Houston.
That is music even sound outer spacey, doesn't it? Do you hear that? That whistling sound?
According to the Discovery show, the trio felt the sounds were so strange that they debated whether or not to tell the chiefs at NASA, for fear they wouldn't be taken seriously and could be dropped from future space missions. NASA says the sounds could not have been alien music. An engineer from the U.S. Space Agency said the noises likely came from interference caused by radios that were close to each other in a lunar module and command module. Astronaut L. Warden, who flew on Apollo 15, disputed that explanation, saying, quote, "Logic tells me that if there is something recorded on there, then there is something there."
The reason your hair is thinning has been your shampoo? No matter what hair growth products you use, your thinning hair is an...
Mark Strassman has the story.
Inside a federal...
Hey, stop the share, bro. Yeah, that's weird, man. That's really, really freaking weird, good brother. That sound, did you hear it?
Yeah.
And the astronauts were saying that they didn't even want to report it.
Yeah, it was a lot of things they didn't want to report. They had different channels that and some of the stuff they did on the live channel they were supposed to do on the back channel.
Oh, it got crossed up like anything else, right?
Yeah.
It's that truth coming out. You can't keep the truth. Yeah. Wow. That was eerie, man. Like, I don't know. They always try to explain everything away.
Yeah, but a lot of times they can't, they
What
make up
was
some
that?
hogwash.
Let's assume it was like, right? I don't know how you cannot report it. So You know what I mean? You have, and they did.
Especially if you're there, actually.
Man, right, and you're a scientist. But that was the thing that killed me too. So they were like, at one of these videos, they were like, and he was the first scientist to go. I'm like, so they weren't even sending scientists? Like, ooh.
They were all pilots. That's what the first thing said.
All military and military people can keep secrets.
Yeah. And all pilots. Yes.
High-ranking pilots can keep secrets. If their orders are to pretend like you went to the moon and walk around and keep this secret and we're going to make you a hero, they do keep secrets. So now you want to say there's 1 million people in the military and they keep their secrets, don't they, Self? You don't have people run around, and why? Because of the need-to-know basis.
They don't have the information.
Yep. And if they do, they're being watched, and they've been watched. Yep. And they don't have the information. Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, let's roll into the next one. Or unless we didn't, did we hit break yet?
No, we're not. Might be in break.
No, we're on the moon rocks and then the moon conspiracy. So, let's go ahead and run the moon rocks, bro.
Yes, moon rocks. That's right.
Yeah. Now you watch these rocks; they don't look like the sun because we've got the same sun reflecting on us. The same sun.
Mark Strassman has
I guess the moon is closer? No.
Inside a Federal Reserve grade bank vault.
Wow, that is thick.
Ryan Ziegler showed us the Lunar Sample Laboratory, NASA's collection of moon rocks. In here, our white anti-contamination jumpsuits are a must.
This is the largest collection.
This is by far the largest collection.
Far as their whole face should be covered.
Humanity's first samples taken from another world, older than any rocks found on Earth.
So this is essentially the oldest rock from the moon. That rock is 4.4 billion years old, and the moon might only be 4.4 billion years old.
I'll try to get a rock in here.
And you hear what they just
Apollo
said?
missions landed men on the moon.
And they found that sitting right on top.
That's it. You got it right there.
Their astronauts turned geologists collected
It don't
in
make
all
sense.
842 pounds of lunar rock.
All
and
those
soil,
rocks they found should be that same
years
age.
ago this month.
There you go.
This was the last sample collected on the Apollo 11 mission, and Neil Armstrong decided that the rock box with the samples in it looked empty, so he shoveled 4 or 5 shovelfuls of dirt into the rock box.
He just did it on his own.
Did it on his own.
See, they have you know how our Earth, the theory of the crust and the core, and then it creates lava and molten, and then that becomes rocks ultimately. Some scientists say that they assume that the moon had that. And I'm saying, no, the moon didn't.
I'm not sure the Earth has that, but I digress.
Hey, it's a theory, and it's not my theory. It's not my theory.
I know.
Yes. Now, yes. And then they're saying, so now they're putting that on the moon.
Right.
And so they're saying this rock is 4.5 million years old. Then how old are the other rocks? And so there should be evidence of lava formation. And
he said it was the oldest rock. And it kind
so
of
they're
sounds like
so that means they've tested some young. Well, that means that means they have some that are younger. At least that's what I would assume, reading between the lines. Exactly.
Well, when they said they was pointing out rocks, and then they said this is the oldest rock. They showed other rocks, and then they showed that one as the oldest.
Correct.
So, I mean, it gotta be.
And said those rocks are older than any rock found on Earth, which is mind-boggling. So if we can't find old rocks on Earth, that would mean that it should be just as difficult, that you should not be able to go to the moon and do what? Bend down and pick up a rock, and it's the oldest rock on the moon. I'm saying as above, so below, and so this is just common sense thinking I'm using right now.
Well, there are a lot of humans on this planet. So this planet that we live on, these humans, they
eat the rocks.
They move rocks. They build all kinds of shit out the rocks. I mean,
the rocks are the rocks, though. We should. I'm saying if you can go to the moon and just drop anywhere, randomly drop anywhere on the moon and pick up the moon is 4.5 billion, and this rock is 4.5 billion years old. You found the God rock on the moon and just landed on it. Hey, listen, bro. It happens. All right, it happens.
Their assumptions just are
nonsense.
Yes. That's the whole thing. Their assumptions are nonsense.
But for the Self Love Nation, I question carbon dating. So there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bunch of people making up stuff.
It works very efficient for,
Yeah.
what they want. And when it doesn't work out the way they want,
it's something wrong with the carbon dating.
Anomaly, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. This isn't perfect anymore. Right. Exactly.
Crafty sounds, you know.
It sounds like the Peter Pandemic and everything else. But go ahead, bro. You can roll it when you're ready. That's what it sounds like.
Apollo 11 soil sits inside these two dishes.
Probably the most valuable sample the Apollo 11 mission brought back.
That's all the soil they brought home, and that was on a whim, Self.
Not a rock.
Not a
These
rock.
dumb motherfuckers are so smart. They didn't say bring some soil back with you.
Steel cabinets preserves
Kept
the
going to
rocks
get rocks.
inside. This display showcases the collection's highlights.
Is this the Lunar Rock Hall of Fame?
Pretty much, yeah.
Rocks as old as our solar system, Apollo's geologic legacy. It's a hands-on collection for someone with training and 3 sets of gloves.
How heavy is that one?
This weighs 6 or 7 pounds would be my guess.
Still kind of fun to pick it up.
It never stops being fun. It's amazing. Every day I come into the lab.
Why doesn't he know how much that weighs?
Many rocks have
Did you hear?
stories.
6 or 7 pounds, I guess. There's a weight right there, I think, but
Charlie Duke
they should
in
have waited.
Of all the rocks collected by the Apollo missions, that was the biggest. So there's a great video of Charlie Duke rolling that up the leg of his spacesuit.
Airtight.
It was so big, and it turned out to be
weigh
really
it before you
important
put it
sample.
airtight.
hard work.
They got other rocks
Duke,
they haven't.
No, I wasn't saying that's why you don't weigh it. I'm just saying, and they're holding it airtight.
Was demanding.
That's
so after
correct.
8 hours in that suit, you were really tired. You squeeze in the gloves and in and out of the car and trying to bend over, and so it was exhausting.
Big Navy salute.
But worth it.
How about rolling that one over?
How significant were bringing back the moon rocks?
The moon rocks taught us about the entire solar system.
Arguably the most important geological find ever.
I'm sure there were people who'd argue with that, but I think they would lose.
This corner houses something special.
In our top secret, high security, don't go beyond this cord cabinet.
Inside are the final 6 pristine moon samples, unsealed, unstudied until now. NASA will soon open 3 of them, saving the rest for the next generation of researchers. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Houston.
CBS News will have special coverage of Apollo 11's 50th
So they had the wherewithal to know. You can stop it. They had the wherewithal to know that.
Special Man on the Moon.
They had the wherewithal to know, to save and preserve that for when science gets better.
That's why it keeps sounding like hogwash at every turn.
Our science isn't good enough.
I mean, it might prove to be that we find that it's complete hogwash when the other people get the
But at what point?
Samples.
I guess Self, they would have told you, okay, Tory Wordsmith, this is the last Apollo mission, right? So these rocks he brings back, we're going to preserve those into perpetuity. Otherwise, why would you have even done that if you can go up there like I can drive to Gary, Indiana, and get me a box of blunts? I mean, they were going up there like it was, moonwalking.
Yeah.
Why are you preserving rocks?
And then they stopped.
Yes. Yes, these are the most valuable, and then they stopped.
Yeah,
Self, they could have financed.
I still don't think those should be the most valuable rocks. I mean,
I think so. They're the value of a rock is based upon its quote unquote rarity, supposedly. They could have financed, if this is true. South Park did a thing. They call it. It was an episode they did where the aliens came and they call it qubits or some alien money. You got these rocks, bro, and there's no other rocks like it. We could have based our whole economy off of it. We could have sold those rocks to billionaires and finance. But why didn't we? Because people would have known that it was a farce. So seriously, we live in a capitalist society, so everything's got to be for science. So you're gonna tell me, nope, that somebody like me, I'm having this thought, I'm talking to you right now, out of all these 500,000 people, nobody said, hey, man, we're having trouble with funding, because I'm a solutionist. Why don't we, see if there's a market for these rocks?
I hear you, but I just feel like they are very rare. That's a very valid state, and somebody might want them, so they might pay for them. I don't base
It's
their
the
economy
only
off
thing
of
that
them
would
like
give a
that.
rock value. What gives a rock value? It shimmers, it shines. I mean, what?
Rock is but
we
like,
give it value.
gold and something, diamonds, we give value, but gold.
And gold because it
has
was
some
shiny. Yeah.
It's highly electrical with the gold.
Correct.
Diamonds, I'm not sure about why they value it the way they do. There are things that is based on that have some value, to mankind. I'm not sure about these rocks, but they might be the best
something
conductor.
To me, something that's
period.
255 million miles away and nearly impossible to own and have and possess. To me, that would be the most valuable rock on the planet. Now, like you said, I guess they're arguing because you can drill and find some rocks that's way down there that's probably just as expensive to get to, I guess, but where are they?
I don't know. I don't.
So when you say value, Self, imagine if that cup you're drinking out of was made out of moon rock. And you're literally, you know how much money you would have to have? If Jay-Z or somebody could sit here and be like, man, that's made out of moon rock. That's value. You know why? Because everybody and their mama can't just go pull some moon rock out their butt. This is moon rock.
I hear you, but that's not value to me because I don't value that.
Well, I don't value any rocks.
Right. So.
Right. But if, is this premise, if there was, you know what I mean? That's what I was using as a premise. But yeah, what we got next though, bro? Oh, wait a minute. Wait, we got some stuff in here.
Oh, we didn't even finish. Oh,
the video.
The moon conspiracy. Was it all faked?
Yeah. We didn't finish that?
I think, no, we it's loaded in halfway. I thought I looked at it. No, we ain't seen none of it.
Yeah, but I'm the overseer saying, well, he already told us it's propaganda. Dump kids playing in the snow. I guess some of his chat was hidden earlier, and now it's coming up. Too many lies out there. We need to learn the truth. Oh, the brain bully. I didn't know the brain bully. Did you see the brain bully out there? Yeah, I didn't see the brain bully either. But
strange things are afoot.
Yeah, right. Well, what you got, Noop? What you got next? We serving up. Moon conspiracy. Is that where we are?
Yep.
All right, and then after that, I think we're gonna have a little banter, and then we'll be at break. Okay, cool.
Now, this might not come as a surprise, but I'm not actually on the moon right now. And depending who you are,
I thought he was in blackface for a minute.
That's Neil. Some people believe Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were actually on a film set, perhaps directed by Stanley Kubrick as part of an elaborate NASA plan to fake beating the Russians in the space race. Here are some of the better-known conspiracy theories about the moon landing. The first theory goes like this. If Neil Armstrong was the first person on the moon, why was there a camera there already?
I used to ask that when I was a short.
Why. The footage of that small step actually came from a camera mounted on the side of the lunar module. And the footage you see of an astronaut stepping down a ladder isn't Armstrong at all. It's actually Buzz Aldrin, filmed by Armstrong, who had another camera mounted to his suit.
We copy you down, Eagle.
Beautiful view.
Another theory is that if this was really shot in outer space, then the pitch black sky rouses suspicion for some people.
Pause that, Self.
Daytime on the moon and the ground.
Take it back to when he's scaling down this ladder with all this weight on him. Now remember, it's supposed to be damn near weightlessness. I think they're using the wrong technique. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So they're going to take all this time foot by foot by foot. Why wouldn't you just kind of slide down that ladder, Self? You know what I'm talking about.
To his suit.
You know what I'm talking about. You slide down that ladder, but you hold on to it.
Another theory is that if this was
it looked like he wasn't even going down.
Nah, it didn't.
That's what it looked like. Hold on.
That's what I'm saying. And you notice they never show the whole clip.
Armstrong, who had
right?
another camera mounted
Look,
to his
oh, he went down one.
Yeah, he went down one. And she's floating. So all this difficulty, Self, I just would have stuck my hands out and been on that bar like this, right?
And walk down with your hands.
Yes! Suspicion for some people. It was daytime on the moon, and the ground was brightly lit.
But I think the gloves, though, they gloves
in those
didn't have that much
even
flexibility
here on Earth,
in their hands. I think that's probably the issue,
shutter
bro.
speed would have to be adjusted to capture the foreground, which means anything faint in the background just disappears.
Don't he coach for the Heat?
They got the flag up now. You can see the stars and stripes on the water.
There's no atmosphere on the moon, but again, science comes to the rescue. For a start, there's a rod running along the top of the flag, which allows it to stand perpendicular to the flagpole.
It's still
and video
blowing.
from the moon shows the flag only moves when it's touched. And because of the lack of air resistance,
It's
takes
moving right
some
now.
time to stop moving.
Ain't nobody touching it.
Wait a minute, that guy was touching the pole.
Look, it's true.
Yeah, they got an
Is that
answer
what he
for
talking about?
The shadows in some photographs do appear to
that
be
brother
cast
came
at
by. The
different
one,
angles.
he came by and actually touched it. The
And that
astronaut.
proves, according to the truthers at least, that there were different sources of light on the surface of the moon, more like what you'd have in a film studio. But the reality is an uneven surface and a low sun
Did you see that flag?
can distort the angles of shadows.
Wasn't nobody touching it. He's holding the
non-believers
stick.
say that proves
Right.
it's a
That's
prop.
what I was talking about,
It's
the
true that in one shot you can see the letter C marked on the surface of a rock.
I say that the rocks are rather slippery.
But it doesn't appear on any of the original NASA negatives, just the reproductions. So the explanation is that the C might be a hair or a rogue fiber that contaminated.
See how they got
the
an answer for
reproductions.
everything?
That then went around the globe.
Come on, man.
Crapulous at best.
He said might be.
There are countless
Right.
more theories posed by those who
It just
just
be
refuse
assumptions,
to
just
believe,
making up stuff.
including a woman from
I mean, if
Western
there's a rock with a
Australia
C
said
on
she
it,
saw a coke
boom,
bottle
game over,
rolling
right?
across the surface of the moon
Well, maybe.
in the original broadcast. For some reason, the rest of the world just missed it.
I guess you're about the only person around that doesn't have TV coverage.
These theories are good for a bit of amusement, but there's a serious side too.
Hey, cover from sight out here.
In an age where conspiracy theories and accusations of fake news have become so normalised, it makes facts debatable and history questionable. That's not a giant leap to make.
Well, who's fact checking the fact checkers, man? All these smug people who get up here and try to get everybody on one group think.
Man,
You know,
ain't that a trip?
that's just what we're heading to. Y'all read 1984, George Orwell. That's exactly where we're headed to. Group
That's
think.
where we're pretty much at when you talk to people. I mean, they hook, line, and sinker, and
Don't they?
all the way aligned with the narrative.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I think the narrative is a security blanket, Self. You know, I used to watch Charlie Brown, remember Linus, and I couldn't figure it all out.
Yeah.
The narrative is the security blanket, bro.
I would have to agree.
Yeah. That coming home, flicking on the news, and getting your narrative, whether it's Ms. NBC or whether it's Sin or Twat. You know,
Well, it's a lot of narratives that are leading
bunch.
people to be able to, because there's one every Sunday, a lot of people go to, and sometime during the week they go there as well, and they get their weekly programming.
Well, I was talking to Mom about this, and it's kind of hard to get her to understand my point of view on that mega church. You can have a good mega church. Okay, so what I said is that everything's supposed to be local. A church was established by the community, so let's say in our Phoenix project, we're going to say, let's have a church, right? And then, and then a guy's going to say, I'm ordained and, and I'm this and I study this. And then you and I are going to say, okay, we could be deacons and then we start a church. And it's all about our community and what we believe in. And if people from outside of our community wants to join our church and it gets bigger and put money in the tithe, we're not going to turn anyone away. But it's our church. It gets weird when our church then says we're going to be like McDonald's and we're going to have another one and we're going to have it gets weird because now the Baphomet, can we say Baphomet on YouTube?
We're not going to say Baphomet.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the Baphomet.
We're not going to talk about the Baphomet.
No, we're not going to say if it was the Baphomet, right?
So
it would
may or may have not been the Baphomet. I don't know.
Right. But whatever entity this is, that's ultimately the entity, right? It's easier for them to control. Self Love has a flock of 20,000 people and he has 2 services and they come from all over the damn place. And Self Love is just getting a check to come up there and now talk politics in the pulpit and now talk against Donald Trump or whoever it is, and keep leading our people to vote Democrat. And then, seriously, this is what's happening. And it gets real easy, bro, for these mega churches to be geared. And then now, well, you got to maintain. You want a nice big church, don't you? You want to be able to keep up. And then they're getting what? Bank loans. Which churches are getting the bank loans as opposed to the other churches that's not? Can Self Love and I walk into a bank right now and say, we want to build a mega church? What, what's the, right? I mean, seriously, what's the matrix? What do they use for that? What's the analytics?
I have no clue.
Right? Well, you're successful. Your flock looks cute. You know what I mean? Like, what does the bank do? They come around. You've been not paying taxes for 20 years. You're feeding people. It's weird, ain't it? Ain't it weird? Churches should not be funded by banks. Churches should be funded by their flock. Because now you have problems. And this is what I'm talking about. So, I love churches and they're good big churches. They're good big ministers. You know what I mean? But I think that it's like Walmart. It's again, put in the middle, ma and pa. It's taking away our control of our communities. And then, you gotta go to the mega church. And then some guy like 9 Mills or Self Love who has a humble, small church can't get any respect because everybody's looking at this big shiny behemoth that was, we're not going to say was financed by the Baphomet.
Right. Yeah. Right. There's no way around that.
Man, there's a reason silverbacks aren't in church.
For sure. That is facts.
And it's not that silverbacks don't believe in God for the most part.
Exactly.
So we did Moon Conspiracy, right, Self?
Yeah, we are the lost Apollo 11. Where are the lost Apollo 11 moon landing tapes?
What happened to break? Wait. We did Moon Rocks and we just did the Moon Conspiracy, right?
Hold on.
So we should be at Long Haul coming up. But that's when we get to break, but that's where we're at, I think. If maybe hold on, let me check, because maybe I switched it. You know me.
Yeah, because then I'm at the list I'm looking at.
So what did we just do? Nope, we just did the Moon Conspiracy.
Yeah, was it all fake?
And we haven't done the lost tapes. Wow.
Where are the lost? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's something severely wrong. Where are the lost tapes?
Hold on, maybe we did watch that. Conspiracy theories around
moon landing.
Yeah.
Did we didn't watch? Let me see. I'll tell you what we watched. I'll tell you right now.
All the rest of the world believes it.
No, we didn't watch Conspiracy Theories Abound and nor So the One. Go ahead and play the next one, bro. We didn't watch it, so I must have messed up when I made the thing. No, we didn't watch it.
We are Where Are the Lost Apollo tapes? That's where we at, or Conspiracies Abound?
Conspiracy theories abound. Yeah, and then we'll watch some of that. If that ain't it, we'll just click forward to the next one. But I just looked at it. We ain't watched that one yet. Did we do Where Are the Lost Apollo 11 Moon Tapes? We didn't do that one.
I don't. That's where I was at, but I didn't know if we did it because I had a flubbage.
Hold on.
I had a flubbage, and I had to skip back, and that's where I was at though.
0, all engine running. Feet, but there was a problem. The space camera couldn't broadcast in the right resolution or frame rate for television. So
right, yeah, we got to watch that one. That's what I was trying to tell you about the camera. Where are the lost Apollo 11 moon landing tapes? You see that one?
Yep, that's where I was at.
Yeah, run that one because they was talking about bro. They was pointing. Man, this shit is hilarious. It's just the stuff they, bro. I believe in Santa Claus, man.
You might as well. Something you believe a lot of the stuff.
That all the technology we had, it came down to pointing. You're gonna see it. It came down to what I was doing when I started YouTube, pointing the camera at the screen, and you'll see.
5, 4, 3,
500,000 people.
1,
hogwash.
0, all engine running.
Maybe they should have had some black people involved.
Liftoff, 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
All the common sense items would have been taken care of.
50 years ago, the world witnessed an unprecedented milestone, an impossible achievement, the manifestation of human curiosity, technology, and sheer force of will. Neil Armstrong stepped onto the surface of the moon in an event broadcast live to over 500
So you did have that little bounce, man. You can't simulate that.
A small camera strapped upside down to the Apollo 11 lunar module transmitted
Unless
this
he was on a
incredible moment to Earth.
string
in
behind.
stark black and white at 10 frames per second. The
could've just
7-pound Westinghouse SSTV space camera was a technological feat, but
We're assuming that the space suit is as heavy as they keep telling us it
in
is.
the right resolution or frame rate for television.
All that stuff
So
is,
in order
yeah, it
to
was
show
all
the
made
world
out of
this
paper
momentous
mache. That stuff was
occasion,
probably light.
Engineers at NASA tracking stations took the lunar signal, displayed it on a 10-inch video monitor, and used TV cameras to literally film the monitor. This recording, with different contrast, brightness, and resolution,
I talked over
was
it, but see?
broadcast worldwide. However, the original, raw, high-resolution stream was also recorded onto 1-inch telemetry tapes.
Now, this is what you was talking about.
Those
Telemetry tapes.
historically valuable tapes were stored away until the early 1980s.
Well, these are the ones that came
which
up
is when
missing.
NASA completely lost track of them.
That's why I said
That's
it was
right,
all a farce.
NASA lost the original recordings
They
of the
scrubbed
Apollo
those.
11 moon landing. Well, maybe
That's
lost
what I'm
isn't
telling
quite
you.
the
They
right
scrubbed
word.
those.
The original
They
tapes
no
were
accident.
most likely reused
Nope.
or overwritten.
Hell no.
with low-resolution
Those were the most
satellite
valuable
imagery
tapes on
from
Earth.
The National Oceanic
Debatable.
and Atmospheric Administration, because they were running out of tapes. Gone, seemingly forever.
Look at that.
It's lost in space.
This is Houston, reading you loud and clear, over.
And then they're gonna show the real tape.
But
He said
that's
it come
not
with
the
that
end of the
static
story. In
parts.
2006,
Yeah,
NASA
city
announced they were
effect.
going to try to track
Make
down
you feel like
any
they on the moon.
original high-resolution copies. The search team was headed by Richard Naftzger, a former NASA engineer who oversaw the original Apollo 11 broadcast, along with Stan Labar, the man who designed the original
That's why these
Westinghouse
people are so
lunar camera
old, Tori.
and other
When you be
key
saying
figures
why
involved
they
in
still
the
working,
1969
because they can keep the
broadcast. In an article
secrets.
by
They up
Wired,
in the
the
cabal,
team
way
described
up.
the process of hunting through 4 million boxes at the Washington National Records Center. These records are not
4
organized, not
million
digitized, and not efficiently cataloged. Thousands of boxes were
Hogwash.
destroyed by a sprinkler system.
That they took. No, seriously. Why wasn't the moon
checked out.
rocks put in one of them boxes then, so?
Some of the places that
I'm
they
just
were
saying,
sent,
like,
Right? I know,
How
I know
they-
you.
They got all this shit and don't have it, catalog, man. This is
Yes, and then they're smug. They're smug about their hogwash, calling people like me and you
And that
stupid.
is that these 45 tapes were included.
Seriously, why didn't they
in
just throw the
several
moon rocks in
hundred
the
thousand
boxes?
pulled out, recertified, degaussed, and put back into the network. The
'Cause they knew they were
associated
important.
Recordings are no longer.
Yes, the original lost Apollo 11 tapes are most likely overwritten with outdated satellite imagery.
Bullshit.
But that didn't mean they came up with nothing.
I'm sorry.
Their search resulted in unmuddied, high-resolution copies from
Bullshit.
the original broadcast recordings. For the first
Whoever
time
believes
in decades,
that,
new
I got some land.
images and video were available to the public.
I got a bridge,
man.
I got a bridge. It's like it covers the Calumet River on Bishop Ford Highway. I let it go real cheap,
man. In fact, the Willis Tower, I own that. I'll sell it to you for $25, and you can call it whatever you want.
Right. Change name, everything.
If you believe that.
Because, man, that's some hogwash.
Yeah, that's a hogwash story. I'm sorry. And then heads should have rolled. I mean, come on. I'm talking about that's like when you tell a story like that, then the next question should be, well, who's in charge of putting those tapes back there? Right, Tori? I mean, like, seriously, there should be an investigation, a congressional hearing, like, even if it's 30, 40 years later. Like, what
they were talking to them dudes, and dude was trying to explain. So his head should have rolled. Shit. I mean, you know.
You right.
Well, we were in there and the tapes, well, you know, and you know, me being a recording artist and all that, the recording on tape was expensive as hell. So, you know what I mean? They're like, well, you know, we just put it back in circulation. I don't buy 1 second of that. You got something that I don't care how expensive it is. You know how expensive it was to go to the moon?
Right. That's my point. Right. How valuable those tapes were. But now there's another theory, though, that I've been hearing. You know, the
other guy found those tapes in those earlier videos.
Well, he found one, but that's proof that the Illuma booty, you know, it's a theory that the Illuma booty, you know, because you're going to see that one of the moon rocks ended up in a Rockefeller lap. So the Illuma booty could have purchased the tapes, and then the story they're using or stole, you know, had somebody get them the tapes at a high enough fee, you know, and then, you know, and they're probably at Skulls and Bones. Did I say that out loud? Now, I'm not going to say that the tapes are probably in Skulls and Bones, you know, fraternity. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you were to check, you'd probably find these tapes and certain things like that at Skulls and Bones, you know, but I'm not going to say that.
No, we're not going to talk about Skulls and Bones.
No, not on a live public forum.
Right.
Small ups of Skulls and Bones. Small ups. Right. So what you got there, Self? Any other videos coming? Unless you had some commentary.
Conspiracy theories abound on moon landings.
Let's do it, because we got to get this to break. I need some blood sugar.
Ready out there.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
They are some of the most famous images in history. But why are there no stars in the night sky?
I believe they're setting up the flag now.
Why is the American flag waving here when there was no air to cause any breeze?
Man, that is hard.
4 decades after man went to the moon, conspiracy theories that these pictures were faked in a studio set and presented to the world as proof of a US space victory, without the astronauts ever really going, refuse to fade away.
The footage that we have shows them faking being halfway to the moon. That
they're faking that the rocks are heavy, but then he just kicked the rock and it's like a beach ball.
There will always be accusations.
Watch when you see him trying to carry the rocks up the ladder. That's heavy. It was just a beach ball.
There are always people who are looking for that 15 minutes of glory by pointing out to the rest of the world something that they feel was the way it happened instead of the way all the rest of the world believes it.
If I went to the moon, I would be no comment. He's a spook.
Might have been able to fake the moon landings might seem fantastical, but a search
that's like somebody telling me I didn't pledge to it
on the internet produces more than 3 million results.
It's like I got nothing to talk to you about.
You know what I mean? Websites focus
if it's not a brother, you know what I'm saying?
Evidence of the mission.
What would you know? Like, why am I even explaining this to you?
In the direction
you know what I mean?
Of some of the shadows, they say some of the lighting looks artificial, and they question why there's no blast crater shown underneath the moon landing vehicle.
They sent junk up there.
I think there are good explanations.
Come on, Self, you're an engineer. That junk doesn't look like it.
But the people who have their mind made up,
and then it went back up.
Have their
That's
mind
why it's so
made up.
funny.
that it
NASA
went back
advisor
up
John Hogsden was at the
with rocks
Kennedy
and
Space
stuff on
Center the day the mission launched. He says it would have been impossible to pull off a hoax.
Frankly, I don't understand the thought process that lead people to doubt.
How much you bet he's a Mason, probably 33rd degree? I'm not going to say that. This dude talking right now.
To sustain a conspiracy
People,
among
wake up.
thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people.
Mark my words. You research him. He's at some lodge somewhere.
All a fake. Seems to be much more difficult than designing the systems and actually going to the moon.
You've been lying so long.
Nevertheless, it's estimated that more than 18 million Americans still have their doubts about the official history of U.S. space travel.
I spend a good amount of time on the floor with my exhibits, noting the reactions to people, and people periodically ask about that, and those people who seem to be truly concerned, you know, could it have been such a cover-up? Could these things have happened?
Whether it's sheer disbelief at the improbability
a lot of these names
Apollo
just
mission
sound like straight
achieved,
gypsies
or
too, bro.
valid question
Running,
marks
curating
that still
these
haven't
places,
been answered.
telling these lies.
40 years on from the first man on the
it don't be
moon,
like
for
like Tory
some,
Wordsmith.
The truth is still out there.
You know, they don't be having 9 meals sitting here.
Come on out here and give me a salute.
Sebastian Walker, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Off the ground, on the floor.
And so they said that they said that the United Nations had said that, you know, nobody could claim land. When did America care about? First of all, we the only ones that got to the moon. We got here first. This is ours, especially if y'all can't get there. So then we put a flag up, an American flag. We didn't put a world flag or multiple flags, and then said we did that as a thing for humanity. I'm like, white people are cold, man. White people are cold with their lying, bro, and their magic with them words, bro. That man. White people cold with it, bro.
Hey, they pink people lie like they breathe, like they lie.
You're right.
like
Those are pink
they-
people. You're right.
that
Those are pink
just
people.
talk.
You're right. You're right. I apologize, white people. You're right.
And man, they lie.
Man.
They will tell you they'll lie so hard and so long they don't even know it's a lie no more. They'll
You mean they
lie.
truly believe the lie?
Yes. Completely, wholeheartedly, that they're superior. That's, and that of itself, the whole.
Glad you said that. I'm changing the lexicon on that too. When I talk about white supremacy, henceforth, I'm going to refer to it as white inferiority, because that's exactly what it is. It's white inferiority complex.
Yeah.
And it should be called. It should be called that.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. Because kind of by saying that, we're perpetuating it, and they know it, with the gutter language. You know what I'm talking about, Self? We had that on campus, and somebody say, "Man, those dirty this and that." You know what I mean? And then I'd be like, "Man, should we smash them?" And you'd be like, "Well, no," right? And I'd be like, "All right, yeah." So yeah, because yes, they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, a lot of times they have no idea.
And I think our words are gutter, and certain people know those words. I was listening to I don't know if you watched that Reza Islam. I sent it to you, but
I didn't get a chance to watch.
When you get a chance, it's dope. It loses me a little bit at the end, but Reza, yeah, definitely watch that, bro. And we'll talk about it tomorrow, man. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Reza, man, hey, we're putting this out there. Self Love Nation. I know he's in LA somewhere, you know what I mean? We're not contacted with him, just like we weren't contacted with, Big Nick,
All right.
South Florida, but we're going to throw it out there. And I know
He's
somebody
gonna come and sit down with us,
man,
break down a lot of stuff to the Self Love Nation.
Self, you and him would
grow it.
You and him would have a straight bromance, man. That stuff he be talking, man. I be sitting there and RZA, boy, he be coming with facts.
Yeah. I checked him out. I mean, I didn't check this out.
That one out.
I see a
yeah.
lot. I see a lot of his stuff though. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, he went ham in a hand basket, bro. He went ham. So, but we should be rolling on to. Let me do this. That was the last video before we take our little break, right?
Should be, because we had our special guest from last week.
Oh, wait a minute. We did Where Are the Lost Apollo 11 moon landing tapes? Did we do that?
Yes.
Did we do? So we didn't do the Algeria conspiracy theories abound yet.
Who? Hold on.
It should be right before a long haul with Nick.
No, we did that already. That's the last video we did.
Okay.
So we had long haul.
You're right. All right. So Self, you go ahead and do your thing. So you're gonna be moving forward. Taking us to break. It was bumpy this time because I don't know why I'm bumpy today, but yeah. So you'll do your thing, take us to break, and blah 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 blah, and then come back and bring us back. So all right.
No doubt. Thank y'all for coming to the Self Love Show. We appreciate y'all more than you know. Hey, I need you to hit thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. We're gonna let you check out a video, the young man that was on the show last week, Lil Nick. Check this out. Come back, second half of the show.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. There's still a couple of you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Still a couple of videos,
back.
bro. Self, you gotta let the videos play, man. I was saying there's still a couple of more videos, bro.
Oh, okay.
We're still on break, man. You gotta look at the thing, man. You gotta look at the format, bro. Facts. All facts.
Attention everyone. Introducing Seirika Africa's all-new cell phone touchscreen crossbag. This bag enables you to be able to talk, text, and email without coming fully in contact with the screen, making it coronavirus safe. This bag makes your phone easily accessible, being around your neck, which means no more misplacing your phone. This crossbag also protects your phone from any fall damage, so no more money spent to fix screens. The bag is also waterproof too, which means no more water damage. This bag also has compartments to store items such as cards and IDs. These are easily accessible as well as the phone. So buy now at seirikaafrica.com.
Welcome back to the Self Love Show. It's your co-host, Tory Wordsmith, and we've had a very good show so far about the moon landing, whether you think it happened or not. We got some more videos that we're going to run, some more discussion. You decide for yourself. We are pretty much have our opinion. We're not trying to sway your opinion per se, but the information speaks for itself. Man, the love that song that the video was for, Nick with it, our last guest, Lil Nick, special guy. That was a special song.
Hey, and big ups to Rhyme Fest, man. This is our second half theme song. Self Love just came right in, blabbing right over it from the jump like it's a stop clock. Take your time, man. You talk to the people, bro. Right there. This is. Ain't no stopwatch on. Big ups. We jacking this from our boy Rhyme Fest because Crime Fest a rhyme thief. I'm not gonna call him that on live. You know what I'm saying? But that's my nigga. So this is our theme song until further notice, y'all, for the second half of the Self Love Show. The second half of the Self Love Show will be anchored and kicked off by Tory Wordsmith. All right? So we always gonna roll with Kid from Chicago. Y'all hear this? And the name of the song is called Chicago. There it is, y'all. Come on, Chi-Town, stand up. Chicago. I digress. A lot of games, a lot of suckers with colorful names. I'm so and so. I'm this, I'm that. But y'all just wick, wick, whack. This is it, y'all. We rocking this. This the new second half theme music. Y'all put in the comments in the chat. Let us know what y'all think about this second half intro. If you don't like it, I venture to say that you're probably not from Chicago. All right, let's get the show back on the road. So big ups though, Rhyme Fest. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling that. Yeah, so get this in your DNA. Like we got that kid from Chicago, and that's in our DNA now in the top. This Rhyme Fest joint is going to be rolling into perpetuity. And that's how we're going to, moving forward, start off the second half of the Self Luv Show. Just a kid from Chicago. All right. So where we at, bro?
We're at
I think we're getting up on Buzz, Crazy Buzz.
Yep.
But hold on before we jump into that. Let's see here. I think we had some, and y'all like, share, subscribe, please. Let's get this link out here. We need to get the people in it. Self Love and I, we got things to do when we get to 9,999 subscribers. It's basically what the platform is all about. It's proprietary. So we ask you cats not to be lazy. If you see something or hear something that you like, or that you know someone else would like, I mean, just send them the link and tell them how you feel about it. Imagine we're Vlad or just a little
don't
DJ.
Don't
imagine we're one of these big fancy platforms, with the algorithm all in their favor, Self, you said you had I did the same thing, bro. You said you unsubscribed to somebody and they kept pumping you. I forgot who it was.
No, yeah. I had never subscribed to him, and he was just pumping. He was just pumping them to me. I never subscribed to him. I didn't unsubscribe from him. I never subscribed to him.
And some of those videos with all them plays, like, have you ever been like on YouTube or whatever, and a video just starts playing? Like, I didn't hit this button. Like, I'll be on the screen with one of my videos, TATN playing. Next thing you know, one of these people who report to the bathroom directly, the video's rolling. I'm like, what is this?
Hey, it happened to me today. I was, getting prepared for the show, and then like, literally, I'm walking, and the next thing you know, it's a video rolling. I'm like, wait a minute, I was in this playlist. Why is this running? Makes no sense, man. They play dirty. We know they do. They be holding us back, shadow, faking us out. People not getting notifications. But that's neither here nor there, because we're building organically and we're growing this thing the right way. We're not paying for no views or no subscribers. And that's just how we roll. We're going to grow, and then y'all going to see. When we get to a critical range, things going to change.
Man, that's absolute facts. Hey, we had Emerge McVeigh was in the building too. The brain bully. I see his chat up there now. This is weird.
It is weird as hell.
Like we're not getting it when they sending it, and then all of a sudden we seeing it, right?
Yeah.
It's weird, bro. So let's go ahead and roll into the next one in the series. Good Note, and I think we're finally into Buzz, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and run Buzz interview 1. Buzz Aldrin, everybody. Big ups. Big ups. That's blurry.
It occurred to me that do I really want to be on the first one?
He butthurt.
And I came to the conclusion that I really didn't, because I could anticipate a little bit at that time
I love Buzz.
all the commitments and responsibilities that would go along with being on that first flight. And I was a little apprehensive about all the public appearances and so forth.
He's going to contradict
I felt,
himself.
gee, if I want to do it, fine. The second flight is going to do the same thing, maybe a little more. Why not go on that one instead of the first? At the time, you feel very much, or I did feel very much on stage.
On stage, huh?
240,000 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem like.
So he had to throw that 240,000 miles after that because he slipped.
People are watching on television, listening to your voice. You're, in a word, apprehensive of not doing something wrong or not fulfilling.
Who's worried about this nonsense when you're going to the moon, Self? Seriously.
You were the second man on the moon, and not the first.
I don't matter if I'm first, second,
like
third.
To be associated with the fact that I was on the first lunar landing mission instead of being the second man to walk on the moon.
I mean,
but
what's
it doesn't
wrong?
bother me particularly. It irritates the heck out of my father, though. He's always looking out for the best things for
His dad, the drunk, was pissed.
Can you remember if you were disappointed when
He looks like his dad was a
taken,
drunk.
what, a month or so before you actually went to the moon?
Oh, yeah, certainly disappointed. But I think that my life would have been a little more hectic had I been the first. Who knows, I might even decided to become a college professor the way Neil did.
See, hating
You'd do
on
it all
Neil.
again.
Yeah, I'm sure there'd be trying moments if I did it again. But having gone through it once, I'd be a much smarter person.
And yet, Buzz, it almost destroyed you.
Right. Here's the contradiction.
But I think I'm a better man for having experienced it.
His hate for Neil Armstrong, he was supposed to have been number one, and he was so arrogant, cocky. He was that man, bro.
You shellacked him. Is that it?
Yeah, you know what I mean, and fed him a hill of beans. You know what I mean, and yeah, it was what it was. But then he says, yeah, well, I mean, it works out. At least I'm not in the spotlight. But then he contradicted himself at the end, and it's like, dude, you went to the moon, man. I mean, I feel like, Tori, I feel like that's like me hating on you because you became a beta nuke before me. You know what I mean? I mean, to me, that's how it feels. You know, Tori and Mills, you know.
Did they have any relationship before? Because he might have been there the whole time thinking he was superior and not. He.
That's kind of how he was, but they
Right.
didn't have it. Like Neil was supposed to have been like the vagabond. He was the wild card. He wasn't a top flight type of dude, but he was the outside the box type of dude. You know what I mean? And he fit the profile. And I don't know. I saw a documentary on it, and Buzz was on there, and they all talked about it. Even Neil talked about it, bro.
Yeah.
He was like, man, he kind of felt bad for Buzz, and I'm like, man, y'all are worried about y'all are going to the moon. Like, I've been a kid before, and you're going to the moon. Like, self-love, I'm high-fiving you. You first, I'm second. He was like, well, I don't like to think that I was second on the moon. I like to think that I was the first in lunar orbit. That I was, yes.
Second,
And on the first lunar orbit. Right. I'm like, nobody cares about that.
He did, so.
And his dad did too.
Whatever.
But you know, it was about him and his dad, and his dad probably been calling him a failure his
Actually,
whole
he
life.
probably still does. Actually,
Yes.
he's still up here.
And his dad was calling him a failure. And look at you. Couldn't even be the first man on the moon. Second man on the moon. Who cares about that? You know what I mean? And his dad probably worked a blue collar job. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? But I mean, your kid went to the moon, for God's sakes. You know what I mean? For God's sakes. Get a kid a break.
Oh man, you looked at him and said, "Yeah, his father was a drunk." He looks.
You
like
can
his
look,
father
yeah,
was a drunk.
it looks like his dad was just drunk. You can see it in his eyes. You know what I mean? Yeah, and my dad. You heard him say it. And my dad was upset too. You about 40-something years old, man. But go ahead, bro. Let's run to the next Buzz Aldrin. This is Buzz Aldrin a little bit older. This is Buzz a little bit older. Big ups to Buzz. Buzz is a spook, man. I know CIA when I see it. I'm not gonna say he's in the CIA.
No, we're not gonna talk about the CIA.
No, small ups to the spooks.
No ups to the spooks
Well,
tonight.
I mean, you got some, yeah, all right.
No ups tonight for the spooks.
no ups.
You know, sometimes they get some little ups.
I hear you,
small
no
ups.
ups.
No ups. For the
Spirits
spooks
telling you no
tonight.
ups, then
Yes.
they must be up to some shenanigans. So no ups.
Shenanigans.
Wait till you
Something
see
really
this.
stupid recently came up,
This
and it's
conversation
actually
with this
making
little
me
girl, man.
really angry. My YouTube feed has just been flooded with
look at it.
videos about Buzz
Look at
Aldrin,
Buzz.
and if I
Yeah.
see one more video about this, I think my f***ing head is going to explode. I was actually working on another project, but I had to stop what I was doing to respond to this shit because it is just that stupid.
You're not gonna believe this one, all right? This is actually, I couldn't believe it when I saw it, all right?
Your
You're not
hairline
gonna
is
believe
going
this. Buzz Aldrin finally told the truth about the moon. Check this out, this is pretty insane.
Basically, Buzz Aldrin was being interviewed by an 8-year-old girl, and she asked him why they had
Wait till you
never
see her
been
face,
back
man.
to the
This is
moon.
priceless.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a
When he
long
starts
time?
talking.
Buzz Aldrin responded
Just watch her
like
face,
this.
though.
That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there and
go there.
And
Go
that's
back.
the way it happened.
Go back.
So
Go
people
back.
are freaking
Go
out
back.
thinking
Go back.
that Buzz
Go back.
Aldrin
Hold on.
accidentally...
Hold on.
Watch how they try to explain it, but go back before they try to explain it away. Go back. He's talking. This is the truth, and he's a little senile, and he's got this little cute girl in front of him. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
Responded like this.
That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
So people are freaking out thinking that
Why
Buzz
didn't we
Aldrin
go back to the
accidentally
moon? He
made a
said because we
Freudian
didn't go
slip
there.
and admit.
She said the little girl, and watch when you see her face, she know what she heard.
Oh,
Wait till you, hey Self, wait till you see him try to clean it up. Wait till you see him try to clean it up to this little girl. So you a grown elder, and he ain't cleaning it up for her. Obviously, he's cleaning it up right for the media that's there at that event. But he's talking to this little girl. Watch, he should have saved it all for the post game interview. And watch this little girl's face. She's not gonna have no idea. Wow, this is great. I love it.
Wow.
Watch this
I've
little
seen
girl's
this
face.
before, but I man, this is
admitted that humans had never been to the moon.
I think he's trying to cover it up after the fact, like he knows
He's
he
a
screwed
spook.
up.
This dude,
and he just keeps
definitely
rambling on there,
hairline.
apparently.
I'm going
That's why
to
they wear the
admit
ball
that the
caps all the
first time I heard this clip, I thought that he said the same thing. It sounds like Buzz is saying that we never went. But what you're forgetting here is that Buzz Aldrin is a very old man, and old men ramble.
You know, when we toured around the world after we came back, the most fascinating observation
look at his hands. He's doing magic now.
Was signs that said, we did it.
I mean, that little girl was completely checked out.
see,
It
take that
makes
back. He
no
was doing
sense
magic,
to
bro.
not
She
believe this
wasn't buying
story
it.
at this point. Faking.
And so he tried to, when we came back, and she's sitting there thinking, like, you just told me y'all didn't go. Like, what is you talking about?
right. Because they might have went to
story-
orbit, but they didn't go to the moon.
Correct. And he's using little platitude talk to make it
Right.
sound like he just said when we came back from the moon. And look at his hand movement. All this for this little girl, man.
The most fascinating
Hand magic.
Yes.
observation
She looking him in the eyes like she was brought up
was
to do.
signs that said, we did it.
I mean, that little girl was completely checked out. It makes no sense to not believe this story at this point.
I'd love to get
Faking the
this little
moon
girl on
landing
the
would have
show
been
today.
equally as difficult
She's
at the
grown now,
time.
probably.
So let's listen to what Buzz says.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
The question she asks is not why we never went to the moon.
No
the
shit.
context of this
Right.
question is, why did we never go
just gonna throw a bunch
back
of
to
smug
the
out.
moon?
That's my question.
That's my question.
I want to know, but I think I know.
Buzz Aldrin
we never went in the
agrees.
first
He
place,
would
is
love
what
to
he
know
said.
why they've never
Right.
been back.
That's what
But
he
he believes
said.
he thinks he knows why they never went back.
Because we didn't go there.
Because we didn't go there again.
Because we didn't go there, and
So we didn't go back because we didn't go
that's
there
the way
again.
it happened.
The word again is implied
He's speaking
because
gibberish
Buzz
at this-
is speaking
then-
in shorthand.
then he's
the
saying
context
nothing.
of the question
He didn't
is why
say
they
anything.
didn't
It's assumptions
go
again.
back.
And
Yes.
if
You
it
gotta
didn't
listen to what he
happen,
said, not
Yes.
nice
what he
to know
didn't
why
say.
it
Yes.
didn't happen. So, in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going.
Buzz is
So he
saying that it
never
would be
answered her
good to know
question.
why we stopped going to the moon
Why can't
so
he
that
answer this
in
little girl's
future
question?
projects that we plan to continue indefinitely, we
They're-
can learn from the mistake of
using
stalling
he's
and
old.
stopping a project so that that never
what they're
happens again. This part of his answer doesn't make any sense if the context is that they never went to the moon in the first place.
Money is a good thing. If you want to
Do you hear what he's talking to this little
buy
girl?
new things, new rockets, instead of keep doing the same thing over, well, then it's going to cost more money.
He's literally saying
knows that
that
the
it
story
costs
that they
more
used to tell in the
money to
60s and 70s makes
continue
no sense
things.
today.
Again, that
Right?
answer makes no sense if the
'Cause she's
context
thinking, why
is
don't you
that
just
they
print up more
never
money? We're
went
making
in the
bombs
first
and
place. The
nuclear
moon
bombs
landing
and
hoax
airplanes.
conspiracy is one of the more popular ones and one of the older ones. And though people tend to have a really negative knee-jerk reaction to hearing somebody doesn't believe that we went to the moon, the truth is that there is reason to be skeptical that the official story is true or that we went at all. The United States had every reason to lie about it. It
Man.
was the middle of the Cold War after all.
Every
Even
reason.
Joe Rogan
Put our
used
foot
to
in our
push this
mouth.
theory. And when he changed his mind about it, his audience actually got really upset. But unlike most conspiracy
like he got a
theories,
check.
you're also dealing with a court of popular opinion on this. This was a witnessed event. This is part of our popular culture. This is ingrained
And so
in
that
us
was his
as
last
modern
public
people.
opinion.
So you have to use a
appearance.
moniker of social
I guess
pragmatism
so.
when you're dealing with this issue.
Yeah, that
and
was
I
it.
realize that's not even remotely scientific. But for me personally,
They were like, hold on. Yeah,
Hello.
we got to pull Buzz back. He's,
Man.
he got a little too out there. That,
The 8-year-old girl can extract that information out of him. Yeah, we gotta.
yeah, we need to have a change of heart with old Buzz. He needs to,
Because he never answered her question. He got to the end. I think, he was like, he started trying to say money. But why didn't he just say, well, because nobody wanted to finance it? Why do people talk to kids like that? If the kid, if that was he should know right away how to answer that. It shouldn't have taken all that gibberish and circular talk to a 6-year-old. That's how I know there's a lie up in there somewhere.
Yeah, he seems he's old. He was almost 6 years old too. That was the whole thing, and that's why the truth came out. And he tried to cover it up.
You're right. He was having a spiritual talk to that spirit. It wasn't, because you saw how she was looking at himself.
You saw how he was looking. We can go back.
Let's go back.
You're
right. You're right. Because her purity was killing his demon. You're right, Self, was killing that lie up in him. You're right, man. He was uncomfortable and he felt bad that now he's lying to this little pure spirit. I didn't catch that the first few times I watched this video.
And if it didn't
I was
happen,
too busy focusing on her.
it's nice to know why it didn't happen.
Look how red he is. You see he went flush? Something's wrong.
After we came back,
She looks familiar too.
Buzz Aldrin responded like this.
that's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. because we didn't.
Self,
go
she
there,
expects
and-
him to know. Shouldn't he know?
And that's the way it happened.
So people are freaking out thinking that Buzz Aldrin accidentally made a
Way Self
Freudian
go, he
slip and
shouldn't
admitted
know,
that
'cause,
humans
you
had
know, it's
never been to the moon.
But from a kid,
I think he's trying to cover it
a
up
kid
after
is
the fact,
thinking
like,
that
he knows
the
he's
second
screwed
man
up,
on the moon should
and he just-
know why
didn't go
NASA
back.
stopped the Apollo program. It should have taken on it. Well, that's what I would like to know. And I think what the guy is trying to say is Buzz is trying to, in a nice political way, say it was dumb. We should have went back. We should have went back. And he's trying
Right.
to say, yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And he's saying that, you know, without context, what he said after didn't make sense.
yeah.
Without the context that we just didn't go back again. And they left
Yeah.
again the assumption out.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, and that's why people should just answer the questions, right? So if we say that all the time when we do our show,
A lot of people just really have a hard time with this language that we deal with, and they don't understand it completely because, man, they start talking about everything but
man,
what was
man.
asked.
And it's okay to ramble. Just answer the question first.
First,
yeah.
then you can ramble.
Oh, we can ramble. Yeah.
Don't ramble and then never
What was-
answer the question.
Yeah. What was the question? Right.
What do you mean, what is the question? What have you been talking about all this time?
Oh God, I thought it was me. Go ahead, Self.
No, we have fun on the Tuesday show.
That's why I love the Tuesday show. You know, nobody's ever gonna, unless I edit these up. You know, nobody.
Even Joe Rogan.
You know what I'm saying?
This is pretty much where we was at.
Used to push this theory, and when he changed his mind about it, his audience actually got really upset. But unlike most conspiracy theories, you're also dealing with a court of popular opinion on this. This was a witnessed event. This is part of our popular culture. This is ingrained in us as modern people. So you have to use a moniker of social pragmatism when you're dealing with this issue, and I realize that's not even remotely scientific, but for me personally, with the moon issue, and with other issues that I can't prove either way on my own, I'll usually choose to pragmatically accept the official story until I get enough evidence that shows that it's not true. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw and you'd like to see more
Hogwash, just more hogwash.
And
so you believe the narrative until
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
proven untrue.
That's what I'm saying. The smug of these quote anti-quote conspiracy theorists, quote, end quote. The smug, quote, end quote, is what blows me, Self. The smug, as though they know.
I just can't,
It's the smug.
that they know. And then
Yes.
it's like the presumption, presumption is fact. Like what you've been told and everybody done told you is the truth. I mean, you know how we get down.
What goes
we
back
don't answer questions and we question everything.
And so that goes, and then that goes to who polices the police and who fact checks the fact checkers.
We do.
Right. Right. Teacher tells you something, you say, well, where'd you get that information from? And they say, well, I learned it at college. Well, where'd the professor get it from? Well, he assigned this book. Well, do you remember the name of it? And that's what you're talking about, fact checking and doing your own due diligence and studying and checking the stacks if you care. And then you come back to that teacher after you finish the book and doing your research and you say, oh, and then after that, they put you in the LD classes.
Yeah. But you can really, at this point in time, start with, in the information age, you can start in there with that DuckDuckGo,
man,
and get on the search engine and find out a whole lot of information.
Man.
So,
But they
it's
got us
just true.
staring at TikTok and you know what I mean. The
You
distraction.
can learn a lot on TikTok.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Well, you can learn a lot on any platform. It just depends on what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of it's gonna be what not to do, and it's gonna be wrong, but you can learn it.
Correct. What we got served up next? So, oh wait, I can't ask you that because you're all over the place. I'm all over the place. Looks like we're wrapping it up. We had the Buzz Aldrin interview. We had the Buzz admits fake
Anonymous
moon.
found in their NASA hack.
Yeah, and you guys, if anybody want to call in, we can play it at 9 at 9. Yes, we definitely got to get this anonymous. Roll that, Self.
Rolling.
And let's roll that.
FactsVerse presents. This is what Anonymous found in their NASA hack. First, though, help us spread the word about FactsVerse by clicking that like button. And also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, also known as NASA, oversees America's spaceflight capabilities. And when you hear about an astronaut in the U.S. going into space, NASA are the ones who put them there. Much of NASA's information is classified, which means that only people with the necessary clearance have the ability to see everything that NASA finds out in space.
It's military.
Well, recently, a very famous hacking organization called Anonymous hacked into NASA's computer system. And after hacking the system, the group leaked
that Anonymous. I meant to tell you, I don't know if I ever mentioned this. Remember I played an Anonymous video during one of our Tuesday like shows?
Mm-hmm.
Right after we ran that video on our show, that's when everything got deleted. So it was the day before that COVID show, and that probably put a target on our back. Yep, and then we did the COVID show that very next day, and then I woke up and things were looking funny on the computer. But go ahead, bro. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Something happened.
Leaked photos that are considered classified. And this is what Anonymous found in their NASA hack. Some of the photos confirm the theories that extraterrestrial life and aliens really do exist.
Wow.
While this may not be completely true, there is a reason why the organization keeps these photos closely guarded from the general public. Mysterious skeletons.
Look at this.
There are a number of photos taken by NASA employees of skeletons that appear to be human but are extremely large.
Look at this,
Some people believe these photos are proof that giants once shared the planet with average-sized human beings.
Why is that not public
Many people can't find any other explanation for the exceptional size of these skeletons.
Religious purposes.
It does make you wonder what was so important about these photos that NASA would want to hide the photos from the public. The fact the photos were considered classified shows NASA certainly has something to hide.
They don't want everybody to know that we're God.
Underwater structures.
Yeah.
There are plenty of photos of ancient structures that are found underwater. Who knew that underneath the ocean there are structures that resemble the Mayan temples or the pyramids of Egypt? The reason these structures were found underwater remains a mystery. The reason that NASA, a space organization, was in charge of documenting the structures under the ocean also remains a mystery.
Because of those
The fact that NASA never mentioned the structures or the photos to the public makes the whole thing even more curious.
Anti-gravity, being in no weight.
Indecipherable text.
From here, they say they live underwater. Some people say that too, and they're from Earth,
inside the Earth, and
yes.
inside the Earth.
yes.
You know, and it's funny that they was talking about the moon rocks being 4.5 billion years old, because that's how long they say the Earth is.
Facts. And they probably got those rocks from, you said from the beginning, it looks like it came from underwater. They probably got their rocks from their little alien submersible friends, you know, who come up and do what they do. You know what I mean? And they got the technology. Might even be Atlantis that they say got buried.
Some of it might still be technology from them, because
if they had so much tech, they wouldn't have went out like that. Let's just put it that way.
They left there and went.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, not everybody, you know. All this tech, how you don't know what's going to happen?
Especially the way they said they were.
Right. So they left there, and that's why, you know, it's a whole.
But they've released, and I was going to show it for this show, Self, but you've seen it. That one with the Navy release, and that thing was flying right over the water. And there's another one they actually recently released where it actually goes underwater.
Oh, plenty. I've seen plenty go underwater. Like plenty come out of the water and go underwater.
Yes. So it could be misinformation or disinformation thrown out there that these are UFOs, so that we don't know that potentially these are Earthlings, and potentially then if that's the case, who are they? Because you've had a bunch of people talking about the wheel and the sky, and if that's the case, who are they? And
but it's still that they not from here. They was here before we were in this form, but they still not from here.
So they seeded this planet. They seeded us in this planet at a certain extent.
To a certain extent, we were, there were beings here, and
but we weren't conscious, like the Adam and Eve story.
Who's to say though? Who's to say? Because we know how these animals are on this planet now, and we know.
My cat's conscious.
Yes, period. That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna mean. So who's to say we weren't conscious? I can't say that, but they saying that we.
Oh, you mean like the same way they try to say all the Aborigines people were savages? Who's to say that they were savages? That's what you're saying, right? Just like who's to say we weren't conscious? Who's
to say we weren't conscious? Is really what I was getting at. Yeah.
And who's to say that the native people here were savages?
Yeah, no, they weren't.
Correct.
That's the invaders were savages, not the indigenous.
We're not gonna say the Europeans were savages.
What? No, we're not gonna say that. We're gonna say the invaders were savages. That's what we're gonna say.
All right, I'll live with that stuff. What you got next?
Indigenous. We still on share right now. We can finish.
Yeah, we got to keep it rolling. Yeah, keep it rolling. We got to get it rolling. They'll be playing us off. We ran this late, but we're gonna run it through. It's gonna be our longest Tuesday live ever.
Oh boy!
I gotta get my car off the street before they steal my catalytic converter again. But go ahead,
we were doing it shorter Tuesdays. We've been going longer ever since we decided that. Or you decided that.
Yeah.
It's funny. Let's roll.
Let's roll.
The discovery of ancient structures in the ocean are strange. However, it's not the only thing that has piqued the interests of NASA.
Yes.
Inside of the structures, the explorers found fragments of text that are written in a language that is not known to humans today. There is no language on the planet right now that matches up with the text that was found. Many people who have seen these leaked photos speculate the language was written by an alien species. If these photos had nothing to do with alien life, though, why did NASA keep the entire thing under wraps?
Wow.
It's one in Lake Michigan,
blueprints.
too.
Many of the photos found appear to be blueprints. Many of these blueprints are impossible for us to decipher. Many people believe the discovery of these blueprints means that NASA is on the brink of a discovery so amazing it needs to be hidden from the general public. If there actually is proof that aliens do exist, it could put the general public into a panic. Anonymous may think that they've helped the public by hacking NASA's confidential files. However, what they could end up doing is causing a panic. Only time will tell.
Who's gonna panic? They'd be killing me with this.
They already got fear all over the place, so
they sell panic all day, right?
Images that raise more questions than answers. The release of these photos makes one thing perfectly clear. The hacked images have made people start to wonder exactly what NASA is hiding. Why do they keep such incredible discoveries under wraps? Why do they keep them a secret? Why do they deny the existence of alien life when there is clearly proof that aliens could actually exist? Does NASA know where the aliens are? Are they 100% sure that they exist? These images have raised more questions than they've answered.
That's probably why we stopped.
NASA has yet to comment on some of the photos.
What'd you say?
You said your theories. We was told by the gangsters on the moon. Hey, look, y'all come up here one more time. Like it was some theories that's what was happening to Apollo 13. That they got escorted. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's tape of Buzz Aldrin saying that there's something in this crater, and they're looking at us.
Well, Buzz is a tripped out cat, man.
Yeah, and they talked about when they came back, the debriefing that they got, or whatever. If they just went to orbit and came back, the debriefing they got was like,
bro, they kept them like away from people for weeks.
Yeah, and the debriefing they got was like, man,
it was hypnosis.
Yes, they were programmed when they came out of that.
Yes.
So,
yes,
and that's another thing about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why their memories are all platitudes.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, Self, if you ask me,
it was big as the window.
If you ask me, if you ask me to explain how it was in the Kappa house, I could tell you. And if I'm telling you in certain platitudes, you'll be able to say, this dude ain't never lived in there, or this dude ain't never been in there. You would be able to say it, or you would ask me questions to get me out of the platitudes.
Man,
Yeah, it was a big
you
house.
would
They'd be like,
know.
it was a big house.
No, you would no. You know you know how we are. We'd be like, wait a minute. Come on, I need some description. I need some detail.
Yeah, and you would give those naturally if you've been to a place like the moon. People want descriptions and details. What did it feel like under your feet? Did it feel exactly like sand?
Hey man, them dudes, they say when they got back, they got grilled, and
hypnotized.
Yeah.
And they probably selected them based upon their ability to be suggested.
As pilots.
Yes. Yeah. Because Buzz
and Neil was he said some things too.
And he was one of those come out of nowhere, wasn't supposed to be, and now he's the first man on the moon. If you start checking his lineage, you're probably gonna find out he's related to Margaret Sanger or somebody. But go ahead and hit the play, so if we gotta get this thing rolling, they're gonna start playing us off.
Ready out there.
It's me talking.
This is
Artifacts on Mars.
Yeah.
This is very important.
The Mars rovers are designed to travel on the red planet and photograph what they see. There are plenty of photos of mysterious artifacts that have been photographed using the rovers, and they've not been released to the public.
Whole lot.
NASA has shared plenty of information regarding what the rovers have discovered. However, they have not released many of the photos of what appears to be alien artifacts.
That looks like Earth.
Are the aliens living on Mars? And NASA just doesn't want us to know. Human-like imprints.
It said we could breathe the
imprints
air there.
Found like the one in this image prove that aliens have an anatomy that closely resembles humans, and that leads people to believe that there are alien life forms out there and that they live on a planet with atmospheric conditions that are similar to our Earth.
Our melanin would
Could they be on Mars? Are they just taking their time before letting themselves be known to the general public? Are they already on Earth? Well, thanks to these hacked photos, the general public could be closer to discovering the truth.
Yeah, those are crazy.
Alien-human contact.
Look at this.
There have always been rumors that aliens have had direct contact with top military personnel. Some people believe that these stories are made up by crazy people who believe in aliens. But thanks to Anonymous and these hacked photos, there is photographic evidence of such meetings. What could this be?
Who would take that picture?
Many of the images, such as this one, have shed more light on what we really know about aliens. What's coming down to the Earth so quickly in this photo? Is it an asteroid that made its way to the Earth's atmosphere? Is it an alien ship ready to crash? Many of the photos released have raised new questions for the general public. Some people are so sure that these photos are solid proof that aliens exist, and they already have started taking precautions.
I ain't never seen no picture of no meteorite.
Like an aircraft.
Yeah.
Period.
Because that would be bright red. It wouldn't be looking like that with that trail behind it.
Coming through the atmosphere.
No.
There's something that got shot up inside the atmosphere. Period. It got shot inside the atmosphere.
Wow. Yeah, you even looking at that angle, huh, Self? Angle of entry. I mean, look at it. That's intelligent. It's struggling to flatten itself out so it don't, go straight into the Earth.
Yeah, it's crashing.
Yeah. Yep, it's crash landing. Yep. Go ahead yourself, roll it. We'll just have to talk over it, maybe.
Asteroid that made its way to the Earth's atmosphere? Is it an alien ship ready to crash? Many of the photos released have raised new questions for the general public. Some people are so sure that these photos are solid proof that aliens exist, and they already have started taking precautions in case of an invasion. Alien insurance? Currently, there are over 20,000 people who have purchased alien abduction insurance.
This is fraud.
Now, that might sound like something out of a horrible B sci-fi movie,
they would arrest
but
us.
there are insurance companies out there who are willing to pay $1 per annum for the next million years. The insurance will cover you if you are abducted by aliens,
but if
you get pregnant or raped by an alien, or if you are killed by an alien.
Yeah,
sounds like a waste of money, but, well, you never know. The most obvious places where aliens could be living. Thanks to the release of the hacked photos, there are a few places where it seems aliens could be living. Many of the photos suggest that they're living on Mars or on Saturn's moon Enceladus due to the fountains of water that have been photographed. They could also be living on one of Jupiter's moons where the frigid hulls can disguise the seas. It's also possible that bacteria exist in the clouds above Venus.
Those are plans, some of those
The
pictures.
first alien encounter. Thanks to the hacked photos, it appears the first alien sighting occurred back in 1450 BC. It's believed that Egyptians saw brilliant circles in the sky. And it appears that the Egyptian hieroglyphics have provided proof of helicopters, submarines, and airplanes.
He's
How
part
could
of a
anybody
group
have predicted the existence of these things hundreds and hundreds of years before they were invented?
So many
Trained
on Mars.
first responders.
From
Have you ever wondered
NASA,
who will protect us
photos,
in
they
case
got
of an
access
alien
to
invasion?
it.
Well, rest
and
assured,
they
there
found
are
so
some
much
firefighters in the
on,
U.S.
Mars.
who are
It's
preparing
just,
for such an incident.
I want to say
Our government is
50,000
taking the chance of an invasion
things.
very seriously, and they trained Chapter 13 of
Some of them
FEMA's
been
Fire
in this
Officer's Guide
video,
to Disaster
actually.
Control. The group is called Enemy Attack and UFO Potential. If there's an alien invasion, it's nice to know that somebody will be there to protect us, and know how to.
I've always loved sci-fi and the idea of being right on the edge of discovery.
One astronaut is sure. Edgar Mitchell is the 6th person to ever walk on the moon, and he says he is sure aliens have made contact with humans on more than one occasion. He's sure the government has proof that aliens do exist. Chess created by aliens? Kirsan Ilyumzhinov is the president of the World Chess Foundation, and he's sure aliens are the ones who created the game of chess. In September of 1997, he said that he was taken from his flat by aliens and traveled in their spaceship where he learned that they'd been playing chess for centuries. During the time he claims he was in space, 3 of his staff members searched his flat and couldn't explain how he reappeared in his bedroom just an hour later.
Wow.
Aliens and tourist attractions. St. Paul, Alberta is said to be the place of the first UFO landing. To attract tourists to the area, they raised a stage to create a landing
Denver's a
port.
hotbed.
There are
You know,
also
Shorty said he
photos
saw
of
one.
UFOs, crop circles, and proof of cattle
Denver's been a hotbed
mutilations.
lately.
It's all very curious.
Aliens.
At the airport.
Apollo 11 had no explanation.
The stuff under it.
Yes.
3 days after Apollo
Look
11
at that
was in
junk,
space,
Self. Look at
the
that junk.
team saw something strange.
Satellites on
There
top
was
of
something flying by, and at first they assumed it was a disengaged rocket. When they discovered that it was flying 6,000 miles away, though, their theory changed. Since the sighting, no explanation has been given to the general public. Did Napoleon Bonaparte have an alien encounter? In July 1794, Napoleon claims that he was detained by aliens. During this time, he was missing for days. After his death, scientists found something implanted in his skull, possibly confirming his story.
You know those scientists
The
were
wow
skull and bones, but we're not going to...
Researchers from Ohio State University spotted a signal that appeared to be coming from close to 220 million light-years away. The signal was so strong, it was named the WOW signal. Where was the signal coming from? Some people believe that it's from a radio transmission in deep space. Jupiter's red moon. In 2001, a study showed that it's possible that Jupiter's red moon, Europa, could be made up of solid red microbes. This bacteria could be proof that there is alien life there. Are there aliens living on Jupiter's moon? Many researchers believe there could be.
Well, if they're microbes, that is alien life, stupid.
The Soviet cover-up.
And it's just ridiculous.
Right.
The Soviet Union was testing missiles, but they didn't want the world to know they were doing that. And it was why they claimed that the missiles were coming from UFOs. Unfortunately, though, that plan backfired on them. The population became so interested in the UFOs that the government had to come clean before they caused widespread panic.
Putin.
It's a fact. In the new economy, average people are becoming millionaires faster and easier than ever before.
The public is sure they exist. According to studies, 48% of Americans believe that UFOs exist. Of these people, 29% think that they've made contact with us already. Most of the people who are so sure that UFOs have made contact are men. In fact, 65% of the men who were asked are true believers. UFO sightings. On average, there are over 70,000 UFO sightings reported each year.
A year?
That means about 192 sightings every single day. And subscribe for more.
Oh my God!
Wow.
That's the most surprising.
Well, that's why I asked the question to every guest. Have you ever seen a UFO? And I think I'm some sort of conspiracy theorist and I'm crazy.
No, they
Look,
answer
this is what we're about. This ain't that news, and this is the Self Love Show. And we want to ask the questions and hear from people because we're fractals, right? If somebody's experienced something self, we want to hear about it. We're fractals.
Yeah.
We're all fractals.
We know it intrinsically because we all connected. So
yes. Man, you said that. You know who was saying that? Our guest tomorrow, Trife, we was having a conversation. That was his mantra, and my mom was saying the same thing. It's crazy. And you, the third person to say it. That's a trinity. Let's go ahead and get into the next video, bro. So that's a revelation right there. We are all connected. And we're connected to those aliens, so that's once you get there.
The creator of all created all.
Yep.
The arrogance that think that we're the only thing that was created in this intelligent bipedal situation.
Man.
And I don't want to take away from this video, so I'm gonna be quiet.
All right, I'll be quiet too. This was a good one. Look at this guy. Oh, there he is. All right. Look at this guy falling all over the moon. Hey, is this the WikiLeaks? Which one is this?
Absolute proof that it's fake.
Okay, I'm with you. Okay, yeah.
This is showing the things that the other videos tried to debunk. Actually.
But Self, the internet scrubbed a lot of this evidence that was out here.
NASA scrubbed it. Like there are top people that had high clearance that talked about them scrubbing all that shit. He said scrubbing all of the natural structures and all the structures on them. So if they went, you know what I mean? Saying all of their videos. And why would they? Okay, I can understand the broadcast videos being all like this, but this ain't broadcast. This is taken from the actual footage and made great.
You're saying why does it look so great? Yes, I hear you.
It made it that way.
Of course. I agree, bro.
Scrubbed it.
I agree, but look how clear that flag looked though. So
right,
you can see the color in that, but everything else is grainy and black and white.
Right,
but the flag is red, white, and blue. Talk about a production.
Yeah. My fault. Especially with that. I'm supposed to turn that down.
It's all good. Yeah, but you talk about a production, man.
Man. The wire jerks him back to his feet. Dang.
It did look like he was suspended. You could see a wire. I saw a little wire. Something he was holding on to.
No, the wire would be in his back.
Yeah, but it was something he was holding on to. probably would have been. I agree. I thought I saw something. Here's my point, sir. Why is it hard to find conspiracy videos about this now? I swear, man, 3 years ago, they was all over the place. And now they said Donald Trump, now fake news is considered, dangerous.
Wow. Is that why they had that whole program so they could just censor more and more stuff?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
You're exactly right. I didn't even think of that until you said this today. Because you said this to me before, and I'm like, but now it really is making sense.
Because they ratcheted it up, and it's the narrative now. And you can't find nothing. And so that's why Rizza Islam was saying stuff in that video I sent you, that the nation was, that's what they're saying, like Brother Pullen, he's writing this book and printing it out the old-fashioned way. They're telling everybody to do that because we don't control this algorithm. And I said that years ago, so I said, man, they're getting all this stuff digitized and we trusting it, and then they can go in and change Self Love's whole album. They can change his lyrics. So you can have an album say one thing, and then 100 years from now, they can just switch the words a little bit.
Everything.
And now you're saying, right, and they be like, man, Self was sus. Right, or exactly, that was the message. And then it's Tupac saying sus stuff when Tupac wasn't saying that. And that's what happens when everything got digitized.
Hey, I'm just saying,
None of the Apollo missions brought
tapes
any
and
extra studio
books.
lighting with them on
we
the
need
lunar
to be
lander.
able to control our narrative. So, we're going to need to have our own platform just so that the nation knows facts that we need to be able to control our whole complete narrative and how we grow and show improve.
But what's funny is now they can run magic Self, like you can play it. You got these when you had a book, it'll say this is the first edition, this is the second print. This one was copyrighted here, and then I could potentially find another copy of it in the library, compare word for word what's there. We don't have that. They can change what's in Moby Dick.
Everything.
They can change it every minute.
Simultaneously.
That's what I'm saying.
That's facts.
Can only be the result of multiple light sources.
But they actually change it when they make another version, though. So they change it that way. But you can go back, and there's people that still have the older version. They can erase the older version. That's my whole thing about moving us to all digital. It's because they can change and edit the information. And it ain't how you get the source information if it's all digital.
And they can hide it. You see, they come with this blockchain, so now they can lock up all the right information and then put out all of the wrong information.
Even show what appear to be sneakers and ladies' heels tracks on the moon, in addition to astronauts' boot prints.
My
NASA image
observation of the blockchain is that you'll have access to all the information because it ain't in the same place that they can lock it down. But I'm not sure of that. I didn't even never looked at that from that angle.
It's always a gin, man. It's always a gin.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I never looked at it like that.
There it sits with no burn print and spotless clean pads. Even the astronauts' made deep impressions in
work
the moon dust.
in some way, even
10,000
though it still holds true to the same principles of the blockchain. It's hidden and it's on different places, so it's even more hidden. You can't even find it in one space.
Was very loud.
Yeah,
Yet when Alan
that
B.
makes
of Apollo
sense
12
about
was
the
asked the same
blockchain.
question, he answered that you couldn't hear the engine at all in the
See,
vacuum
there
of
it is.
space.
That's the takeoff. So the whole
I
thing
tend to
didn't
believe
take
Alan
off, and I'm
because
trying to figure
watching the
out
Apollo 17 liftoff
why they brought the whole thing down there.
It is clear that the LEM is being
Because they had the car and they had the car and the scooter.
And they weren't going. They didn't want to crash the ship. They got to get them back home.
Well, yeah, they had to leave all that weight. I get it. Because I forgot they had the moon. They had all that stuff with them.
The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to. But...
Did you hear that?
Yeah, the problem is we don't have that technology anymore. We used to. And this is a NASA astronaut. And I've been hearing this for years, Self. Remember?
Right. This is my problem with it. What do you mean? We got more technology now.
And Self, I have been hearing this for years. And so
Right.
if you told us we made it once and everybody knew that was great risk, and if y'all knew how risky it was, we decided, we proved it, we shut it. No, they were going back and forth.
They attempted 13 times, so they say.
And made it 12. Yes.
Crazy. Now I'm gonna.
But now we don't have the technology. Go ahead and play. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be quiet because we're gonna still gonna get played up.
We're going on a 5-hour live here real soon. So yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm gonna be really quiet now.
I'd go to the moon.
This guy's talking. I don't know if he knows he's on mute.
The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we
I wasn't on
destroyed
mute when
that
I was talking.
technology.
No, I'm talking about
it's a
Brother
painful
Puller.
process to build it back again.
Apollo 11, Houston, Goldstone says
Forgot Brother Puller was there.
Look at that, Self.
What is that? That's supposed to be the Earth?
Yes, that's the,
now
yes.
Okay, now
That's Armstrong's view.
The oceans with a definite blue cast. See white bands of major cloud formations across the Earth.
Across the Earth. You see how he's talking?
Yeah.
I know you're talking about the Earth. You just asked me to describe what I'm saying. So when I talk, Self, I don't say I'm seeing yellow bands across the Earth. And Self, you say, describe your car to me. And I say, I'm seeing a red paint on the car. And I'm seeing a steering wheel in the car. And I'm saying people don't talk like that unless they're lying.
Okay, how do you read me now? Right, you're fine by now.
Unless it's scripted is what I'm saying.
Yes. Scripted or retarded.
Yes. And poorly scripted. And guys who write can catch that.
What mission? Apollo 11. Yes. And the photography is being forged in the mission. They're faking a shot
Look at him.
of being
He's like,
halfway
we got
to
one
the
who
moon.
can see.
And they
Who let him
refer
in
to
here?
you
Look
on
at
the
this guy.
tape as a shot that was done during Apollo 10, where you put a transparency over the window and moved the camera of the Earth and moved the camera back away from the window, turned off the lights in the spacecraft,
Look at
and appeared to
Look
be
like he's seen a
halfway
ghost.
to the moon when in fact they were in Earth orbit.
Huh, really?
Why would you listen to all that if it was as preposterous as you're trying to? That's what I'm saying, man. This is killing me. Huh? Really?
As we get further away from Earth, we'll pass through the Van Allen.
Hey man, they don't even know, bro. They when they get back, they get so mind fucked. You know.
And and they don't be knowing if that was a Luma booty talking to them. They be sitting there waiting for code. You know what I mean? They're like, wait a minute, this guy isn't one of us. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because Luma booty talk crazy. They say weird stuff.
But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation. Sensors aboard will record radiation levels for scientists to study. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
They're saying we haven't solved challenges for this radiation.
We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
He's a modern scientist saying that we ain't even went through the Orion belt because we fry in the radiation.
No, I'm not sure we went far enough out to encounter the Van Allen radiation belt. Maybe we did.
The Van Allen belt.
Naturally, we have to pass through this danger zone twice. Once up and once back.
They've explained it away, so.
I don't know the distance to the Van
Say we're
Allen.
They just say it isn't. No, we don't go that far. And it's just that easy for them to say. Like,
well, no, that's what he said. He don't know because he's never been and he's ignorant and he's not a scientist and he's a spook who pretended to be an astronaut.
I don't think anybody.
I'm saying the modern day scientists are saying, well, we were already there. We went through it because they know it's been proven that we went through it. And they're saying, but the astronauts were only in it for 6 hours and it wasn't long enough to. have any effect on them. And plus their suits, their magic suits protected them. And that's what the other scientists are saying. BS. But you were saying earlier.
Did you see
They're saying
hogwash. Oh, wow.
Because that guy just said we don't have the technology to do that.
The point is,
that's the same technology that has been protecting us from aliens.
The protective confines of the Earth, outside the atmosphere, certainly. Now, on the way
right.
to the moon,
hogwash.
It's the halo, Self.
We weren't passengers away to the moon.
We're passengers.
Hogwash.
We conducted all kinds of experiments, and one of them was an experiment where we closed our eyes and then we put some light-sensitive pads on our eyes, and we could literally, yes, we could see traces of radiation or traces of something going through our eyes. We conducted this experiment both going to the moon and coming back from the moon several times.
Then we went right out through them.
No effects on your cells?
Didn't even know it. I don't think anybody, well, maybe somebody said you went through the radiation belt, but we didn't feel it inside, and we didn't get any, added radiation.
See, first he said we didn't go out that far.
Well, he lying, because if he's saying he didn't feel no effects and there was no extra radiation, then he's a lie.
And he said nobody even discussed it at NASA.
3-day voyage when we got there.
So the engine is loud?
Just bad science, but yet great science.
Is the engine loud as you're descending?
Well, the engine is very loud.
These guys really don't know anything.
They don't.
Right.
But yes, it's loud.
They got sent out into space, and when they came back, they got, and they were already under orders.
Very dynamic.
Yes.
Military people. So.
They're CIA spooks, yes.
Paramount, right there. We didn't have last-minute checks we could do. We only had one engine.
And see, this little kid science that they talk Self, he used to work in the 60s.
When you were in it,
you know what I mean? Before all the information was all over the place,
Another glaring
it was a whole lot of extreme science in the 60s, but it was based on
blackness.
Well, people in the 60s right away said it was BS.
They found in the 20s. Yeah, but they wasn't involved with NASA. They were
correct.
They were,
correct.
Biographies and interviews.
Real technology.
My mom said my uncle said said from the jump there ain't nobody on the moon when it was all being like he wasn't even watching it.
And others saying
it was a farce.
Seeing a single star while
so
on the moon.
Such there's that.
And the fact that none of NASA's moon pictures feature
and they had footage of other people all over the world saying it's a farce.
Should raise a red flag that these astronauts were not on the moon. Also, NASA never filmed either stars or planets. The reason is simple. Before the era of computer enhancement, the stars would have been impossible to fake accurately enough to fool the world's amateur astronomers.
Whilst in space, have you ever looked away from Earth into the black void?
And Self, they're trying to say it was daytime on the moon. So it's just like Earth. That sky didn't look like no Earth daytime sky.
No. Pretty much all the time you can see the stars.
It's not a black void. I mean, it's black.
It's no atmosphere, so it's daytime on the shit.
And it's only one side of the moon that ever has daytime.
Into deep space, and you're on the sun side
right?
of the orbit.
Because the other side's always dark.
Washes out all the starlight,
so there's no night and day on the moon.
Just like here on Earth.
There's all the stars there. And the cool thing is about you can see
it. That can't be the case.
When you looked up at the sky, could
it's
you
in between.
I got what you're saying. It is rotating.
In spite of the glare?
And it's in between the Earth and the sun. So it's gotta get the backside has to get some sun because it's on the backside. It has to get most of the sun.
During the period of time,
it only get the face that we see is only when it's on the backside of the Earth, and the sun is closer to the Earth than the sun.
I got what you're saying.
I mean, the moon is closer to the Earth. No, the sun is closer to Earth.
Yeah. Let it roll.
I need stuff. Yeah.
It's WikiLeaks.
The best. Let's say it's another one to print. I think that's awfully good. That one and the one before it was pretty good.
Do we have about 15 seconds?
Oh yeah, you got a lot of time.
Yeah.
WikiLeaks.
I claim this land in the name of.
What do you got now? Now move.
Now move.
Wow.
Look at that flag. That's win, man. Him holding that pole ain't that. Come on, bro. You held poles before.
Hey,
you
man.
can't do this and have the tip of the flag doing this.
No. You can't.
Ready? And action.
It's too easy to fix for them to not do it. That's just
And
lazy.
the proof is that many scientists have said we can't go back, and we haven't been back, and no other country has. That's my proof, Self. You know when scientists be saying, prove it, prove that we haven't, go again. Right?
I mean, hasn't it been failed attempts?
Yes. Self, I've driven from Cali to Chi and back and forth.
Headlight.
It's a long trip. And I can do it again. I'm not gonna ever tell you, Self, we don't have the technology. You know what I mean? Ever.
You see how old these people look and vintage they look, and they like, oh wow, this shit.
You mean
I've never seen these.
Oh, I have. Look at this.
Well, I've seen this.
Yeah.
You can do that on a plane.
Yes.
Exactly right, and it has to be. We have to be high enough.
Hell, they do it at them parachute places, Self. You can do that in Rosemont.
Not against Earth.
Yeah.
As you're coming in, a descending approach. As you get in. Over.
We can rehearse it. Said, go back and we'll rehearse.
Might explain the flag.
Look at that. That's Hollywood staging, bro. I've seen it before. See how they had all that on the. What's the point of that?
It's like it's junk.
Mm-hmm. It's junk. That junk don't look like it held up in space. You saw that. Self, I was watching one of these videos and they said something broke off on the rover. And yeah, we were fixing everything with duct tape. And I'm junk. They rolling around with junk, duct taping it up, Self, like some cowboys on the moon. And they expect me to believe that. Not if wasn't no black people involved, you didn't. I'm sorry. Not if it wasn't no Negroes involved. Y'all didn't pull that one off. I'm sorry. And that's why they also lily white. Because they'll keep that secret in the name of national security.
Not all of them, because there's a lot of them that's talking. They old, though, you know what I mean?
They old. But no, you're right. Some of them been talking even longer. You're right.
Yeah.
But they kept the secret for a minute.
They did for a long time.
Until them checks
really.
stopped coming. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't about the checks. It's the information age, and it was about their soul, the vibration. They had to give it up. Some take it, you know.
I'm saying they kept it secret as long as they was getting paid by the military, and then they got their vibration and their spiritual stuff after they retire and they got all their money. Now there's a few like this WikiLeaks dude who come out and put it all on the line as they're, during their career. Yeah, there's a few. But for the most part, they're old, they're retired, they've lived their life, and now they want to talk.
Some of them been talking for a long time, and some of them dead. They gave their life.
One dude just left something on his deathbed. He left it with his lawyer. I forgot. It was about the Area 51, about the aliens. Yeah.
Oh yeah, about the.
Yeah, he left it with a lawyer, and when he died, they released the information, and of what his testimony was. He took it to him to his deathbed, but he released it, like you were saying about that truth, getting that truth out there. Look at this. Like, why would you just be standing around? You're on the moon. And then them stories about the suit made you so tired. Self, that's all platitude. That's all stuff somebody to get you distracted. The suit was heavy. Don't nobody care about how heavy the goddamn suit was.
Man,
we don't.
This footage right here is very interesting. I think
That's right.
I've seen some of it very briefly, but not this extensive.
They're all spooks. They're all spooks. Even the people, the directors were already spooks.
Yeah.
Telling you, man. That's what RZA was talking about, Self. He said everything, and me and you was saying that our whole life. He said every organization, including the Nation of Islam. He said every street gang, everyone has been infiltrated by the FBI.
Yeah. Period.
And that's what you've been saying, and we'll talk offline, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You were saying some people are starting to concern you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man. Circle of influence, has to be controlled. You gotta vet and vet and vet some more.
That was the beauty of that ice cream, though, Seth. It
Yes,
helped.
sir.
Yeah, it helped vet.
It help you self-vet. So
Yeah.
you make sure that you're not the issue or problem. You know what I mean?
True. Very true. Very true. You're not gonna go out there and be WikiLeaks.
No.
Very true. Very true. Look at this, Seth.
This shit look
My uncle, rest his soul, Uncle Joey, one of the dirty dozen. He said from the jumps up, this was years ago, according to my mom, that they shot it in the Nevada desert. He said this as they were on the moon.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just saying, this looks just like.
Look at the flag. You cannot tell me all this crap. They had a string on it, and the reason it kept swinging is because, no, that's wind. See, he grabbed it there. He did.
He's trying to stop it from fucking blowing. He's like, hey, cut it off.
Thank you.
Cut that off.
Thank you. Stop the flag. Yeah. So then it concocted the story of we wanted to make it look like the flag was waving. Why? Why was that important?
And then the motherfucker was saying it wasn't waving. He was just
yes.
They just lied.
What the feelings of the Apollo program are.
Tori, at the end of the day, it all comes down to we can't go back. They've said we can't go back. We haven't gone back. China hasn't landed on the moon and put their flag up. You don't think that'll be good for their country's morale to go up there and what? And we took y'all flag with us, America. We took y'all flag. We burned it on the moon. Well, you probably don't want to do that, but we took your flag and we left ours there. You gonna tell me stuff that wouldn't be worth it to you as an enemy of America to go up there and do that?
Hey man, I
know you're
not understanding them talking this hogwash nonsense. And
the tapes got deleted, taped over.
We can't go, But the clearest video they got, they just find some tapes, some random tapes that talk about, what I mean, dude, buy them from whatever. He's probably a spook too. But
why weren't the tapes in the Smithsonian, Self Love? Like who devalued the tapes? Who devalued the tapes?
I think they showed the people, didn't they?
That was somebody who was doing an ad hoc investigation post. Those weren't the actual people. Those were the you know how we do, Self. Yeah, we conducted an investigation and we all looked into it. And we made a mistake and we're sorry. Those were those guys. Those weren't the guys who actually,
We lost the tapes.
Right.
We don't know how it happened or whatever, but they ended up in gross mismanagement. They ain't gonna tell about. If it was 40,000 boxes of unlabeled.
They said millions.
Stuff.
They said millions.
Oh my God.
4 million.
Unlabeled. How does
that happen?
It can't happen. And
they're unemployed people, but it goes with I'll tell you how it happens. And I saw a video on it. We're hiding too much information.
Man on the moon.
That's the problem, Self. That's why when people be like, "Oh yeah, they're monitoring everything." No, they can't. I'm sorry, they can create all the technology they want. It's too much information.
Right, they can record it all. I still can't monitor it all.
It's 4 million boxes back then. You know how many conversations they got to get caught up on, Self? Oh, Self Love and 9 Mills are at it again. Yeah, but there's a priority with Al Qaeda.
Because they always yapping.
So if everybody just started speaking their mind, it would be overwhelmed.
All right, I guess we can stop.
Let's go ahead and stop it. Yeah, we're not even paying attention. Nobody's paying attention. We still got people out there. So big ups to all the people who hung around. Self love. Yeah, we started late. Go ahead, Self. Go ahead.
We love you. We got the science of the self. We're all part of the same being. As we are made up of how many cells we are. They say trillions. We are all cells of the creator of all. And it's a blessing.
Fact.
It's a blessing. And we're here to
Facts.
learn. So we fake separateness so that we can grow. Get all the information we need to excel and grow at a greater pace.
Facts.
So please like, subscribe, share.
Oh, go ahead, Self. We ain't playing you off yet. This is not our exit song. It's just more music since we've been talking about the moon. I thought this would be apropos.
You know, like, subscribe, share. Let's grow. Come on, y'all. Self Love Nation.
I'm a descendant of Frank Sinatra. His great-great-grandparents were sexually assaulting. Sorry. Sorry, I do. So I'm sorry. It's almost as bad as your I word. Well, sexually.
No, yeah. I was going to clear that up because, I was going to say it was 81 or something. I was going to clear that.